Baseball. Coming up on 4 minutes until airtime. Mark, 4 minutes until airtime on the Vanderbilt Sports Network, 2 minutes until airtime. Stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Vanderbilt Sports Network for our baseball game broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the Vanderbilt Studio Hotline at 336-831-0816. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the Vanderbilt Studio Hotline at 336-831-0816. Stations, your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Presentation of the Vanderbilt Sports Network. Vanderbilt baseball is on the air.
Swing and a miss. He got him. He struck him out. This one is drilled to left field. This is back and it is gone. The Doors win. Vandy wins.
You're listening to the First Bank pregame show. First Bank. Bank on the Doors every time you pay with the exclusive Vanderbilt debit cards. First Bank. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC. Coming up, a full preview of today's game. A look around the SEC. The starting lineups. And an exclusive conversation with head coach Tim Corbin. Commodore Baseball is brought to you by Jackalope Brewing Company. Jackalope Brewing Company is proud to brew Conquer and Prevail Pale Ale. Vanderbilt's craft beer collaboration with Jackalope Brewing Company. Martin and Zerfoss. Martin and Zerfoss Insurance Agency, a proud carrier of auto owners insurance. Mid-South Ford, your Tennessee Ford dealers. Anchor Down. Coors Light, choose chill. Proud sponsor of Vanderbilt Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. San Antonio Taco Company, Nashville's best Tex-Mex, made fresh from scratch daily. And by Modelo. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Our coverage begins now.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Hoover Met. We're live from Alabama in the 2026 SEC Tournament. It's the 12-seed Vandy against the 13-seed Kentucky on opening day. The Doors are defending champions, and Tim Corbin is the winningest coach in the history of the tournament. Can't wait to see what this year brings. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth. Trip Hurd back inside our network studio. So glad you could make us a part of your Vanderbilt game days. Vandy's 32-24 overall, 14-16 in the conference. Vanderbilt's path to a 20th consecutive NCAA tournament certainly goes through a good run here at Hoover. But on top of that, this is a tournament Coach Corbin cares a lot about. As mentioned, the winningest coach in the history of the SEC Championship, 11 trips to the final game, 4 titles. And as he always says, a lot of people pay good money to be here. A lot of people work really hard to put this tournament on. And Vandy is going to put its best foot forward. Something new this year in Hoover, the ABS Ball Strike Challenge. Same that Major League Baseball has a couple of things to know about it. Each team has 3 challenges. If you win the challenge, you keep it. Only pitchers, catchers, and hitters can challenge. It's got to happen within 2 to 3 seconds after the pitch, and the strike zone does include the buffer zone, 1 inch on either side of the plate, and it's a little bit taller than the MLB strike zone, which isn't new. The buffer zone has been a part of college baseball for a while. It helps the umps a little, but also helps college pitchers who aren't quite as precise as the pros. Well, the matchup today, Vandy and Kentucky. The Doors took 2 of 3 in Lexington back in April, including that incredible moment from Will Hampton. First career start, and hits the grand slam go-ahead in Game 3. Like Vandy, Kentucky is playing for its NCAA tournament life. 13 SEC wins, is dicey, but the Cats have a good RPI, up in the 30s, and feel like a win or two here in Hoover will get them in. Should be a fun and passionate matchup here today. Well, First Bank makes being a super fan super easy with exclusive Vanderbilt debit cards. Bank on the doors every time you pay. First Bank, bank local, get more. Member FDIC. Plus, Conecuh sausage is hickory smoked for that true southern flavor. Conecuh sausage is great on the grill, the official smoked sausage of the Vanderbilt Commodores. Coming up on the First Bank pregame show, we'll run down the starting lineups, and next we talk with head coach Tim Corbin. But first, let's learn, as we always do, a little something new. It's Did You Know with Andrew Marinus.
One summer in the mid-1920s, a semi-pro baseball player in Tupelo, Mississippi was setting the league on fire. His name was Tidbit Bynum, and it seemed like he had come out of nowhere. Well, it turned out he had come out of Vanderbilt. His real name wasn't Tidbit Bynum, it was Andy Reese, and he was a member of the Commodore football and baseball teams. But he had changed his name that summer to make a little money playing baseball. When Vandy coach Dan McGugan found out about the ruse, he cut him. But Tidbit, or Andy's athleticism was well known, and in 1926 he was offered pro contracts by both the New York football and baseball giants. He chose baseball and played for legendary manager John McGraw from 1927 to 1930, but he never lost his rebellious streak. One time, McGraw fined him $50 for hitting a home run. Why? Reese had ignored a bunt sign. When reporters asked him about it after the game, Reese replied, "I bunted the bleep out of it." In 1969, he was inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, and since the 1970s, young ball players have developed their skills at Tupelo's Andy Reese Field. I'm Andrew Marinus, and that's the story of Tidbit Bynum. Andy Reese.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease offers today.
The Tennessee Lottery has had many big winners. More than 450 tickets have been sold worth $1 million or more. But with more than $8 billion raised for education, the biggest winners continue to be students in Tennessee. So if you've ever purchased a game from the Tennessee Lottery, we say thank you for helping to play your part. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing, life-changing fun, but please play responsibly.
It's time for our pre-game conversation with head coach Tim Corbin.
He's a perfect fit for what we're trying to achieve here. Everything about it felt like home to me.
Coach Corbin's comments are brought to you by First Bank. Bank on the doors every time you pay with the exclusive Vanderbilt debit cards. First Bank. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC. With Coach Corbin, here's Andrew Allegretta.
Getting set for first pitch, game 1 for Vanderbilt at the SEC tournament. Andrew Allegretta here alongside the head coach, Tim Corbin. Coach, first off, a very good weekend versus South Carolina. How would you describe the mindset, the energy, the excitement for this group to get going here at Hoover?
Yeah, it was a good weekend for sure. We needed it, and there probably was a little bit of relief inside of that too once it was all over. But the separation of the regular season and now is clear, and whether it was last year or this year, they're all the same. It's like once you finish the first season, it's like, okay, that's your resume, but it doesn't matter moving forward. And whether we knew we were in a tournament or didn't know we were in a tournament, the approach to this tournament has always stayed the same, going back to 2003. And the reason being is just because it's a hell of a tournament put on by great people who spend a lot of money, make the kids feel good, and I just feel like people in general spend a lot of money to come down here and watch these kids play, and we just have an obligation to play well for ourselves, but we just really enjoy being in this environment. It's a great environment for baseball, especially college baseball. It's the closest thing to Omaha, by far.
Yeah.
So just a great environment.
It's a ton of fun down here in Hoover. Coach, one of the big changes, of course, that's been talked about has been ABS, the strike ball challenge system that we've got this season. What have you communicated to your guys about strategy, when to challenge, how to challenge? You've got 3 of those challenges to use. You keep them if you get it right.
Yeah, all of that. I mean, I think first was just educating them on why, ABS is in play, and basically it's experimental, but the SEC's been working on this for a long period of time. They just didn't roll something out here. Yeah. So there was a lot of work going into this. We've talked a lot about it. Had to go through the Rules Committee, which I'm on, and so worked through that process, too, with Matt Boyer. Matt Boyer's been instrumental in putting this together. I think once you knew what it was going to be, then it was just educating the players on what ABS is, what the strike zone is, because it's different. The buffer zone, the black area of the plate counts. So if a ball just tips it, it's a strike. So I would imagine the strike zone is going to look a little bit bigger to hitters and maybe favorable to pitchers. I don't know. So we'll see. But they all got measured yesterday. I'm talking about our players because the measurement of each player matters, because once they get to the plate, whether they're in a crouch or not in a crouch, it doesn't matter. The ABS system is set up in accordance with their chest and the hollow of the knees. So that's where it's at. Good. Looking forward to it. Talked to them about how to use it. We talked about how to use it again this morning with the hitters, kind of the situation, scenario. So what I don't want them to do is get tied up with it, though, because the umpires have been told just to call their game, which they need to. Players, on the other hand, just need to play their game, and then if it's the appropriate time, then they got to call it with instinct, because it's not like I can look over to you, Andrew, and say, okay, should I do it?
2 to 3 seconds.
You got to go right to the hat right away. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Should be good, but like you said, it's 3 calls throughout the course of many, many pitches throughout the course of the game. So play your game. One of the changes that you did make to the lineup here today is to put Brody Johnston at the top. What was the thought process there?
Well, one of our best hitters at the top right away, especially against right-handed pitching, and he is, and there's slug in there, and I just wanted to change it up for him. Wanted him to get there with some freedom. He's been really good with no one on base, and that kind of favors him, at least right away from the get-go, and then after that we just matched it up accordingly. But I like the way the lineup looks. We've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and we're just going to put it in play and see how it works against a really good pitcher.
How's Barzy feeling?
Good. I mean, as good as he can. I mean, he's working through shoulder soreness, but he through the week, because we trained on Sunday. We played Saturday, trained on Sunday. He swung the bat then, swung the bat again yesterday, and then we'll swing the bat today. Feels good. I'm going to play him. He wants to play, but he wanted to play last weekend too, but figured you get to this point right here. It was a good situation for Maldo and a good situation for him to be into the game today. I'm talking about Barzy, so we'll see what happens.
Coach, I'll leave you just on a quick thought on Jelkin, the starting pitcher for Kentucky today.
Yeah, he's really good. He's one of the best pitchers in the league. There's no doubt about it. They saved him for this moment. So we'll just have to do a good job with him. He's a strike thrower. He's not going to throw balls. And he's one of those guys, too. And I remember saying this to you the first time when we were in Lexington. He's a kid that he's got a good arm, good fastball, good breaking stuff, and he decelerates the ball well, but he throws the ball to the middle of the plate. He's almost like, I got good stuff. You're not going to hit it. I'm going to put it where I want to. But he's not, on the edges. It's more in the plate. Now, we'll see what happens today. I think first round against us last time, he was heavy fastball first inning. After that, it was off speed. So we just have to, I thought Espo did a great job of lining the kids up last night. The hitters got together. Side note, last night by themselves, uninstructed, and went over a report for an hour, and then came to us this morning with Espo's help and talked through it, and it was excellent. So I'm happy to see that type of thinking and engagement.
Absolutely love it. Coach, best of luck today.
Thanks, Andrew.
We'll step aside. First pitch after this.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
When a car or truck wreck turns your world upside down, you shouldn't have to face the insurance companies alone. At Ponce Law, our experienced Tennessee personal injury attorneys are here to fight for every dollar you deserve. With over 30 years serving injured victims across Tennessee. And here's the best part. You pay nothing unless we win your case. Call Ponte Law 24/7 at 615-851-1776 or visit PonceLaw.com for your free consultation, because justice should never wait.
Welcome to Vanderbilt Baseball.
All third strike outside corner. That is going to do it.
Welcome to the show.
If maturity grows, so does an organization.
Vandy comes in as the defending champion, but needing a good run to keep the 2026 season alive. We are set for first pitch. Connor Fennell gets the baseball for Vanderbilt, matched up with Jace Tarnish, the center fielder, to start things off here for Kentucky, the 12-13 matchup. First pitch, we are underway at 2 p.m. here from Hoover, Alabama. Pitch misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. So Jace Tarnish, the center fielder, to lead things off. Tyler Bell and Luke Lawrence to follow. There's a fastball for a strike for Fennell. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gorgeous afternoon temperatures in the upper 80s here from the Hoover men, as Vanderbilt wears their white uniforms with black pinstripes. The 1-1. Breaking ball. It's swung on. Slow tapper picked up by Fennell. Steps and throws to first base. It's played by Tommy Gooden. There's your first out. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field. So batting second for Kentucky is Tyler Bell, the shortstop, a switch hitter batting from the left side, right versus left. A 6'1" sophomore out of Illinois. First pitch, it's a strike. No balls, 1 strike. So fastball, changeup, cutter, and a slider. 4-pitch mix for Fennell. 4 victories this season, 2 losses. Kicks and throws. Swings and foul tips it. No balls, 2 strikes on Bell. Well, Fennell at .480 with his ERA. 97 strikeouts. 19 walks, makes his 15th start of the season. Pitched back on Thursday versus South Carolina. The 0-2. That's up and away. Fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good game versus South Carolina for Fennell. 9-1 victory for Vanderbilt. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Here's the pitch. Swings and fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bell, who's considered a first-round MLB prospect. Very good season, batting .347, should say. 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. The 1-2. That's swung on. Bounces it foul. First base side off the target. Well, for Vanderbilt defensively, Brody Johnston's at third base. The shortstop is Riker Wade. At second base, Mike Mancini. First base is Tommy Gooden. The pitch. That's swung on. This is popped up left field line. It's drifting out of play. Count stays 1-2 on Bell. Left field for Vanderbilt is Holcomb. Center field is Rigdon. Right field is Johnstone. Catcher once again is Corbin Reynolds. Base is empty, 1 down. Top of the first inning. The 1-2. That's swung on, hit hard towards right center field. It's going to drop in. It's a base hit. It might be extra bases. Here's the throw by Johnstone. It's a double for Bell to get the first hit of the game for Kentucky here in the top of the first inning. That brings us to Luke Lawrence, right versus left. A 6-foot senior out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. A transfer from Illinois State. Batting .338, 3 home runs, 39 RBIs. Here's the pitch by Fennell. That's swung on, line drive right back up the middle, and Kentucky will strike first. Bell rounds third base, and he will score without a throw. Cats 1. Vanderbilt nothing, top of the first inning. Base hit by Lawrence, his 40th RBI of the season.
The designated hitter, number 9, Ethan Hindle.
Here's Hindle, the DH. A 6'1" junior out of Deerfield, Wisconsin. Right versus right for Fennell. 1 down. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball for a strike outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Well, for Kentucky so far, they have scored as many runs against Fennell as they did in the entirety of the first game in Lexington. A 5-2 Kentucky victory, but Fennell went 6 1/3. 5 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts. The 0-1. That swung on hard, hit baseball towards right center field. Brigden's at the track at the fence, and he will make the catch. Off the bat of Hindle, 2 down. So Kentucky won. Vanderbilt nothing, top of the first inning. Here's Hudson Brown. A first baseman, 6'6", a sophomore out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. This is an offense for Kentucky that typically plays the proverbial small ball. Not so far here in the top of the first inning versus Fennell. Here's the pitch. There's a changeup, swung on, tapped right back to Fennell, gathers, he throws, 1-3. So Kentucky scores first, but Fennell does a good job to sidestep any extra damage as we go bottom of the first inning. It's the opening day of the 2026 SEC Tournament. We'll step aside, come back to Hoover in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Vanderbilt Business offers degree and certificate programs designed to help you gain the knowledge, connections, and confidence to achieve your unique goals. We're committed to creating opportunities for you to discover, grow, and thrive at every stage of your career, whether you're just starting out or working your way to the C-suite. Let our dedicated staff and faculty help you take the next step in your professional journey. Visit vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down today. That's vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down.
This is head coach Tim Corbin, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. Back to the booth and Andrew Allegretta.
Vandy wins it! Welcome back as we go bottom of the first inning. Let's jump right in with today's starting lineups for Vanderbilt, presented by Martin & Zerfas. Contact Martin & Zerfas for solutions to your insurance, risk management, and group benefit needs. Martin & Zerfas, insuring Vandy fans since 1978. To lead things off for Vanderbilt, Brody Johnston, third baseman. Batting second baseman Mike Mancini. Batting third, left fielder Braden Holcomb. Batting fourth, Logan Johnstone, right fielder. Batting fifth is Tommy Gooden, first baseman. Batting sixth is Riker Wade, the shortstop. Batting seventh is Rustin Rigdon, center fielder. Batting eighth is Colin Farsi, back as the DH for Vanderbilt. And batting ninth is the freshman catcher Corbin Reynolds. Starting pitcher for Kentucky today, 6'5", the junior out of Omaha, Nebraska. A transfer from both Nebraska and Houston, now plays for, obviously, Kentucky, Jackson Jelkin. 8 victories, 2 losses, a 3.59 ERA. 94 strikeouts this season, 17 walks, makes his 14th start of the season. And very quickly as we get going with this bottom of the first inning, today's injury report presented by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. Mac Whitcomb, Austin Nye, England Bryant, the usuals out this week for Vanderbilt. So Brody Johnston to lead us off here in this bottom of the first inning. Vanderbilt trails 1-0. The 12-13 matchup. Of course, it's single elimination these days here in Hoover. Right versus right, first pitch. Fastball, up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. It's a 6-pitch mix for Jelkin. Focuses on the fastball, the curveball, and his sinker. The 1-0. That pitch, it's a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Well, for Brody Johnston, batting .330 this season, 14 home runs, 44 RBIs. That pitch is swung on. This is drifting back in, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brody. Gets the start as the leadoff hitter here today, the first time this season. Coach Corbin wants to get the best hitters to the plate as much as possible. The 1-2. That spun, hit toward the left side. It is caught by the shortstop Bell. 1 down. Here's Mike Mancini for Vanderbilt, batting second, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 5, Mike Mancini.
Vanderbilt's 5'11" senior out of Endwell, New York. Batting .307, 15 home runs, and 44 RBIs. Right versus left for Jelkin. First pitch. There's the fastball. Goes up and away. Fastball at 95 for Jelkin. How about the season for Mike Mancini? Named second team All-SEC plus All-Defensive team. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. And for Vanderbilt, their first 15-15 season. Home runs and stolen bases since 2017 and Jaron Kendall. The 2-0. Inside. Count goes to 3-0. So just a fantastic season for Mike Mancini. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 down. Base is empty. There's a fastball up and away. And Vanderbilt gets its first base runner here today. Up next for Vanderbilt is Braden Holcomb, left fielder.
Left fielder, number 26, Braden Holcomb.
6'4" junior out of Orlando, Florida. Batting .353. Has 14 home runs. Leads Vanderbilt with 52 RBIs. And second SEC this season in hits with 78 of them. In first place was the SEC Player of the Year Daniel Jackson with 84 hits. That's how good the season for Holcomb has been. Here's the pitch. Inside. Looks like the slider. 1 ball, no strikes at 85. Again, features 6 pitches, fastball, curve, sinker, slider, cutter, and a change. Very confident in his stuff. The 1-0. That misses inside. Fastball 95. And typically speaking, he's a high strike percentage thrower. And time is called here by Kentucky to talk with Jelkin. This is a massive game for both sides. Of course, Vanderbilt is trying to make it to its 20th consecutive NCAA tournament. Exactly how many games Vanderbilt needs to win here at Hoover this week, it's certainly hard to know. For Kentucky, they feel a little bit better, despite the fact that their SEC record is worse than Vanderbilt's, 13-17. Vanderbilt at 14-16. And Vanderbilt has more overall victories, 32-31. But Kentucky's RPI, about 40 spots higher than Vanderbilt's. That is a huge difference. The 2-1. Swing and a foul tip. Count goes 2-2-1, should say. But for both teams, I do think Coach Mingione and Coach Corbin come to Hoover thinking that this is an elimination game for either side. Here's the 2-1. Holcomb swings. It's a bouncing ball toward the third base side. It's played by Cloud, goes to second. That's 1. The relay to first base is overshot, hits off the camera well. It's a fielder's choice. And perhaps Kentucky might challenge the slide by Mike Mancini on the pop-up. Here comes Nick Mingione. Head coach for Kentucky to talk with Jeff Head. They're going to challenge this play. They feel like the pop-up from Mike Mancini after he slides was interference by Vanderbilt's second baseman. Okay, so if this gets flipped, it's a double play. And Kentucky is through at the bottom of the first inning. Our score, Kentucky 1, Vanderbilt nothing. No hits so far for Vanderbilt, but they did pick up a walk from Mike Mancini. Again, a ground ball to third base played by Cloud. Went to second base to get the force out. And then as Mike Mancini slid, he popped up. And Kentucky feels like it's obstruction. See how quickly we get our call. Jeff Head calls the balls and strikes here today. Clint Fagan's at first base. David Susi has the microphone. He's at second base. Eddie Newsom is at third base here today. We've seen this a couple of times. Certainly nothing nefarious here from Mike Mancini. Kind of pops up and tries to stay out of the way of Luke Lawrence, the second baseman, trying to spin the double play. Of course, Holcomb is very, very quick. I don't think that's...
That is a force play rule. Therefore, the R1 is out, and also by rule, the batting runner will be ruled out.
All right, so that's going to be an ending double play. As by rule, that is obstruction from Mike Mancini on the slide. And Vanderbilt gets a base runner, but nothing more. 1-0 Kentucky with the advantage as we go top of the second inning. Opening day here from Hoover. Back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When two historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Mike Yastrzemski, part of the 2011 College World Series team, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Welcome back as we go top of the second inning. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth. Trip Heard back inside our network studios. Vanderbilt Athletics would like to thank the local 615 partners for their continued support. Let's do our part in supporting those who support Vandy and shop local. Plus, if Vandy wins here today, hope you can join us tomorrow for Vandy and Florida. That would be the 5-12 matchup from the Hoover Met. 1 p.m. scheduled first pitch coverage on the Vanderbilt Sports Network. 102.5 The Game in Nashville. Always streaming on the Vanderbilt Athletics app. So, dual border here for Kentucky, top of the second inning. Cats 1-0 versus the Doors. Will Marcy left field. Carson Hansen, right field. Owen Jenkins, the catcher. 6, 7, 8, part of the order for head coach Nick Mingione. First pitch by Fennell. There's a changeup for a strike, bottom part of the zone. Again, for Fennell, the last time Vanderbilt took on Kentucky, did not get the victory, but he pitched well, 6 1/3. There's the slider, misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, right versus right. 6 1/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Here's the 1-1. Swings a foul tip off the foot here of Will Marcy. Of course, Vanderbilt did not get the victory that night. Walk-off grand slam by Braxton Van Cleve, but Vanderbilt did a great job to bounce back the next 2 days. Got the victory in Game 2, 8-7, and 13-6 in Game 3 thanks to Will Hampton. His grand slam in the middle of the game as the go-ahead hit here for Vanderbilt. Oh, Marcy continues to take his time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It is worth noting some of the statistics offensively for Kentucky. First place SEC sacrifice bunts, first place SEC stolen bases, and first place SEC in hit by pitches. That's swung on. Ground ball toward third. It's foul. So the question is, how do you lead the league in hit by pitches? You can lay down sacrifice bunts. You can recruit speed. But hit by pitches feel random, unless it's not. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Elevates the fastball there for Fennell. Gets the strikeout of Marcy. 1 down. Kentucky 1-0. Here's Carson Hansen. In short, Kentucky crowds the plate. Like a lot. First pitch swung on. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to get under the glove of a diving Riker Wade. And a base hit, the third here for Kentucky. One down. Hansen down to first base. Here's Owen Jenkins.
The catcher, number 29, Owen Jenkins.
Well, 20 pitches so far for Fennell. Right versus right. See if Vanderbilt can spin two. That goes up and away. 1 ball, no strikes on the catcher Jenkins. Batting .244 this season. 1 home run, 14 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. It's inside. There's the throw by Reynolds. It's going to get kicked off of the runner. It goes to left field, and Hansen pops up and races down to third base. Boy, bad luck for Vanderbilt. Not a bad throw by Reynolds, but it skips off the foot. Maybe even the body of Hansen goes to left field and just races off to third as it bounces to Holcomb in left. Comes to the infield for Vanderbilt. They'll crowd with 1 down. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Kentucky tries to score its second run of the game. Here's the pitch by Fennell. Swung on. Fouls it off. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if Vanderbilt's infield backs up a little bit with 2 strikes. They do not. The pitch. He swings and misses. Got him with the changeup for Fennell. Second strikeout of the inning for Connor Fennell, his 99th of the season. So 2 outs. And now Vanderbilt's infield can relax. That brings us to Caden Cloud, a freshman out of Missouri. Bats 9th. First pitch. There's the slider. Misses off the plate at 68 miles per hour. 1 ball, no strikes. Batting .209, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. The 1-0. That's swung on. Hit toward the left side. Scooped up by Brody Johnston. Turns. He throws to good and 5-3. And Vanderbilt will strand Hansen at third and keep the score 1-0 as we go bottom of the second inning here from the Hoover men. Back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
Some things about baseball are difficult. Why does a knuckleball do all those crazy things? That can be complicated. Well, here's something that's easy. Fans of the Vandy Boys love chowing down on Tex-Mex out on the deck at San Antonio Taco Company. Tasty food, the freshest ingredients, fast service, and of course, that world-famous chili con queso. It's all pretty simple, really. Coach Corbin and the Vandy Boys are loved, and so is the Tex-Mex at San Antonio Taco Company. Easy to find on 21st Avenue South and online at thesatco.com. Before and after the game, you gotta go to Satco.
Hey, this is Nate Bargatze, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
27 outs! Vandy wins it!
Go Doors!
Trip Hurd with you back inside the Learfield Network studios. Quick scoreboard update. Game 1 from Hoover goes the way of the Missouri Tigers. They top Ole Miss 10-8. The Tigers got 5 in the top of the 5th. They led 8-6 before the Rebels scored a pair in the bottom of the 7th to tie things up at 8 runs apiece off that home run shot from Hayden Federico. But the Tigers able to secure a pair of runs in the 8th. They go on to win 10-6. They'll face off in the opener tomorrow with Mississippi State. Elsewhere in Charlotte, North Carolina, high scoring, a affair to open up the ACC tournament. The 16-seed Duke Blue Devils hang 21 on NC State. Blue Devils win 21-12 to advance. For now, back to Hoover. Here's Andrew.
Hey, Tripp, thank you so much. Mike Mancini at the plate versus Jelkin. That pitch misses low. Kentucky has asked for our first challenge of the game. Again, we've got the ABS ball strike challenge system here. So that was called a ball. First challenge from Kentucky. It comes from the catcher. It is a strike at the bottom part of the zone. So it gets flipped in favor of Kentucky. No balls, 2 strikes on Logan Johnstone. Here's the pitch on its way. There's a strike, and that will do it for Johnstone. One up, one down here for Vanderbilt. They trail 1-0. Up next for Vanderbilt is Tommy Gooden.
First baseman, number 47, Tommy Gooden.
Batting .291 this season, right versus left. First pitch to Gooden. That's swung on, bounces it foul. Vanderbilt trails 1-0. Bottom of the second inning. 12 home runs, 36 RBIs for Gooden. Went 0 for 3 versus Jelkin back in Lexington in April. The 0-1. That's swung on. There's a high fly ball towards right field. It's playable here for Hansen. Battles the sun, but makes the catch. And Tommy Gooden flies out to right field for the second out of the bottom of the second inning. So the 6th spot here for Vanderbilt. They trail 1-0. It's Cranker Wade, the shortstop. 0 for 3 versus Jelkin back in Lexington as well. Vanderbilt sophomore out of Arizona. The switch hitter batting from the left side. Here's the pitch by Jelkin. There's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball inside. No balls, 1 strike on Riker. Batting .304, has 7 home runs. 43 RBIs. Bases empty, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Right back to the same pitch for Jelkin. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Well, the uber confident Jackson Jelkin throws for Kentucky. He's their ace. The 0-2. That's swung on. That one is flown down the left field line. It's going to bend and spin foul. There's a ton of space down the foul lines here at the Hoover Met, but that one does drop in on the track. Count stays 0-2 on Riker. Of course, a big ballpark, 335 down the lines. It's 405 in straightaway center field. Wind blows a little bit to left field here today. No balls, 2 strikes on Riker. Here's the pitch. There's a check swing. Did not go on a breaking ball inside. They check down to third base. Eddie Newsom says he didn't go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch by Jelkin. Kicks and fires. Struck him out. It's the changeup that time. So Vanderbilt goes 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning. Kentucky 1, Vanderbilt nothing. 1 run on 3 hits for Kentucky. No runs on no hits so far. Here for the Cats. We'll step aside. Come back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore Pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When 2 historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
What sets the Omni Nashville Hotel apart from the rest? A unique cultural connection. Sharing 4 levels with the expanded Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum and adjacent to the Music City Center. The Omni Nashville Hotel is just steps from a unique mix of retail, restaurants, and entertainment venues along vibrant Rep. John Lewis Way South. When you're done exploring downtown, retreat back to the Omni Nashville Hotel and enjoy 5 on-site culinary venues and the signature Mocara Spa. Get ready, Nashville. This is a Music City favorite like nothing you've ever experienced before.
Hey, this is Jonathan Vastine, two-time SEC champion.
A right field bomb here for Jonathan Vastine in the home run trot.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
Welcome back to Hoover. Of course, Vanderbilt is back here as the defending champs, and they've taken 2 out of the last 3 SEC tournaments in 2023 and 2025. Gorgeous afternoon here from Hoover. Temperatures upper 80s. There's a breeze out to left field, clear skies. We do have some weather potentially that will drift through the next couple of days. But of course, the focus for Vanderbilt's single elimination tournament is today versus Kentucky, the 12-13 matchup. Vanderbilt, the 12 seed and the home team. They trail 1-0. Due up order for Kentucky, top of the third, Jace Tarnish, Tyler Bell, Luke Lawrence. First pitch by Fennell. It's a fastball inside. Right versus right. 0 for 1 so far for Tarnish. A 1-3 put out to start out the game. That pitch is swung on, hit hard left side. Got the changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last time Vanderbilt faced off against Kentucky at the SEC tournament was 2022. Vanderbilt lost the game 10-2, eliminated that time by Kentucky. Chris McElvain did struggle that day, 4 1/3, 10 hits. Javi Vaz was fantastic though, 4 for 4, 2 doubles. Old friend Spencer Jones with the New York Yankees now went 0 for 2 that day with an RBI. As Nick Mingione talks with home plate umpire Jeff Head, which I can only presume is about the pace of Fennell, which is most of the conversations coaches have with umpires when Fennell throws. The 1-1. Breaking ball is swung on. Foul tip. That's the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tarnish. The 1-2. Swings and foul tips it. First base side. Count stays 1-2. On the center fielder for Kentucky, a transfer from St. Bonaventure. 6'3", out of Devon, Pennsylvania. The 1-2. That misses off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, we talked a little bit about the ABS challenge system. The message from Coach Corbin to his guys is save those for leverage situations. There's a breaking ball off the plate. Count goes to 3-2. Each team has 3 of them. If you win, you do keep that challenge. Here's the payoff pitch by Fennell. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 100 strikeouts this season for Connor Fennell. It comes at the Hoover Mets. Great changeup that time by Fennell. Erases Tarnish 1 down. Here's the shortstop Bell. A switch hitter batting from the left side. First pitch by Fennell. There's a fastball up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, for Fennell, 100 strikeouts. J.D. Thompson did that last season with 122. The 1-0. There's a strike outside corner. Slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Coach Mingione wants to talk with Jeff Head once again about the pace of Fennell. Before J.D. Thompson, it was Chris McElvain, speaking of. So McElvain, J.D. Thompson, and Connor Fennell, your last 3 Vanderbilt pitchers with 100 strikeouts in a season. Well, as Coach Mingione argues about the pace of Fennell, handcrafted pies, fresh ingredients, and bold flavor in every slice. 5 Points Pizza, proud supporter of Vanderbilt baseball. Our score, Kentucky 1, Vanderbilt 0, top of the 3rd inning. And Coach Mingione goes back to his third base coach's box. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The shift is on a little bit for Bell. Riker plays back up the middle. The 2-1. That misses off the plate. Count goes to 3-1. The 6'1" sophomore out of Illinois stands in. The pitch. There's a strike outside corner. Change up that time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, there were fireworks with Bell in Lexington. Ejected from Game 2 after arguing with Alex Kranzler. Did not play Game 3. The 3-2. That's swung on, and that one is clobbered towards right field. It is gone. Got the fastball. He was ready for it, and Bell goes deep to right field. New score, 2-0. As Kentucky picks up its 5th hit of the game. Here's Luke Lawrence. And Jeff Head wants to talk with Nick Mingione.
Second baseman, number 10, Luke Lawrence.
This is down the third baseline. New score, Kentucky 2, Vanderbilt nothing. Should say 4th hit of the game. I highly suspect this is about some form of a celebration from Kentucky. I did not see anything specific, but I can't imagine what else it would be. Once we get there, up next for Kentucky is Luke Lawrence. Well, Vanderbilt in a little bit of a hole. Trails 2-0 versus Kentucky. And Luke Lawrence to the plate. So 2 for 2 for Tyler Bell here today. First pitch. That's swung on. Fouls it off. Fastball 87. No balls, 1 strike. Of course, Fennell is on short rest here today. Pitched back on Thursday versus South Carolina. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball 88 up and in. No balls, 2 strikes on Lawrence. Went 6 1/3 versus the Gamecocks. 4 hits, 1 run. But that's a quick spin for any college pitcher. The 0-2. Misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Let's see. Is it a hit by pitch? It's going to be a hit by pitch here for Fennell. And he feels like Lawrence was out over the plate, and Nick Mingione sprints across to go check on Lawrence. And Fennell is frustrated with Jeff Head. He can't believe that call now. As Lawrence just kind of has his arm hanging. Let's take our first look up in the booth. Boy, if I'm Vanderbilt, I certainly feel like that goes off the knob of the bat. It may have clipped Lawrence a little bit. He's certainly in pain, but it certainly feels like it goes off the knob of the bat as well, which would be a foul ball. Boy, so a tricky spot here for Vanderbilt. 2-0 Kentucky, top of the 3rd inning. Opening day of the SEC Tournament 2026. Mizzou upsets Ole Miss already. Vanderbilt does not want to get upset by Kentucky, although in the narrowest of upsets, Vanderbilt the 12th seed, Kentucky the 13th seed. And Kentucky with quite the delay down that first base line. It does feel like everything Kentucky is doing, of course everything is gamesmanship in sports, and that's fine, but there does feel like a lot going on to try to just control Fennell's pace here today. I still feel like that may have gone off the knob of the bat, but definitely some pain here for Luke Lawrence at first base. Okay, so Scott Brown goes out to talk with Fennell. This is a big spot here today. This is the 4th spot. Ethan Hindle leads Kentucky in home runs and crushed one to center field that was caught back in the 1st inning. So Coach Brown knows it. Coach Corbin knows it. Obviously, Fennell knows it here in the top of the 3rd. Vanderbilt has no runs on no hits so far, and Kentucky already has the advantage 2-0.
designated hitter, number 9, Ethan Hindle.
Runner down at first base once again is Lawrence. Right versus right with Hindle. Pickoff move back to first base and Gooden hauls it in. No tag. .44 pitches for Fennell so far. And from the stretch for Vanderbilt Jr. Pickoff move back to first base. Hindle the DH, batting .311. Shift is on the pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Way out in front, he was sitting fastball, got the changeup at 75. Well, Kentucky at the plate. This is the 12-13 matchup. Both teams very much feel like this is an elimination game for the NCAA tournament here today. The 0-1. It goes inside. Changeup once again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Vanderbilt took 2 out of 3 during the regular season in Lexington. Dropped the first one 5-2. Bounced back to win 8-7 and 13-6. Pickoff move back to first base. Lawrence is safe. Kentucky at 13-17 overall this season. Vanderbilt went 14-16 in the SEC. The 1-1. Swings and fouls it off his foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hindle. But again, Kentucky's RPI, by the product of a couple of early season road trips to Evansville, to UNC Greensboro, went 5-1 in those 3 games to open up the season. Those are RPI boosters when you head on the road. The 1-2. That's swung on. Bouncing ball to third. Goes foul. The RPI is a mess to try to explain, but know this. For Vanderbilt, they got 3 victories versus South Carolina. But because their RPI, the Gamecocks, is plus 100, those were 3 quad 4 victories for Vanderbilt. RPI didn't budge. The 1-2. That's up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If those games had been on the road for Vanderbilt, the RPI certainly would have been boosted. Home does not do quite as much for you. Victories on the road, that's a big deal. Pickoff move back to first base. Lawrence is safe. Which for Vanderbilt means the victory versus Texas A&M on the road was a good one for Vandy. Victories on the road versus Kentucky were good ones. The 2-2. That swung on, fouls it off. But that sweep versus Tennessee, all 3 of them were quad 2 victories. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Top of the 3rd inning. Vanderbilt trails. Fennell from the stretch versus Hindle. He throws the 2-2. That swung on, hit toward the left side, played by Riker, goes to second. That's one. The spin by Mike Mancini. It's a double play. Well, the best team in the Southeastern Conference at spitting 2 does it again here in the top of the 3rd to end the frame. There have been some hard hit baseballs off of Fennell here today, but he has sidestepped so far. Massive damage. Our score is 2-0. Kentucky with the advantage. Back after this as we go bottom 3rd to the Hoover Mets on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, this is Dominic Keegan, part of the 2019 and 2021 College World Series teams, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Welcome back as we go bottom of the third inning. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth. Trip Bird back inside our network studio. So glad you could join us and make us a part of your Vanderbilt game day. Opening day from the Hoover Mets. Missouri upset Ole Miss. So far, Vanderbilt trails 2-0 versus Kentucky, bottom third. Jackalope Brewing Company is proud to brew, conquer, and prevail Pale Ale, Vanderbilt's craft beer collaboration with Jackalope Brewing Company. Rustin Rigdon to lead things off here for Vanderbilt versus Jackson Jelkin, the transfer from Houston. Right versus left, first pitch. There's a swing and a miss. That's the changeup. No balls, one strike. Rigdon, Barzy, and Reynolds, the dual border here for Vandy. That's swung. This one is popped up towards shallow center field. Here comes Tarnish. He is going to call everybody off, makes the catch, calls off Bell, calls off Lawrence. And 2 pitches for Rustin Rigdon. And Vanderbilt still does not have a hit here in this bottom of the third inning.
The designated hitter, number 44, Colin Barzy.
Here's the 8th spot for Vanderbilt. The DH did not play this past weekend versus South Carolina. It's Colin Barzy. The 6'3" junior out of Naperville. Right versus right. First pitch, that one is swung on. That one is crushed toward left center field. That is back, and that's off the base of the fence here for Barzy. He's going to hustle to second base, and Vanderbilt is on the board with its first hit of the game. A double from Colin Barzy. He sits dead right. He gets it, crushes it off the base of the fence in left center field. That brings us to Reynolds. Well, one of the things Jelkin did well in the first game versus Vanderbilt, he did give up some hits, 6 of them. But Vanderbilt had a tough time stringing them together versus Jelkin. 6 hits, 2 runs, 8 innings pitched in the first game back in April. Big spot here for the freshman Corbin Reynolds. Shift is on with 1 out. First pitch. Breaking ball. It's in for a strike. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, 26 pitches so far for Jelkin, 2 1/3. 1 hit, no runs. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. The 0-1. There's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes on Reynolds. This will be the biggest growth point offensively for Reynolds in the offseason. Is getting better at picking up and hitting spin. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 down. Barzy's at second, the pitch. That's off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, fastball. 97 for Jelkin. Reynolds has been tremendous as a freshman, batting .236. Does have 6 home runs, 6 doubles, but 60 strikeouts so far. The 1-2. That's off the plate. Breaking ball. Good job there for Corbin. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shift is on for Kentucky's infield. Cloud, Bell, and Lawrence. Left side of the infield. Just Hudson Brown to the right side, the first baseman. Here's the 2-2. Off the plate, breaking ball. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Corbin Reynolds can win the battle with Jelkin. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Barzy's at second base. Vanderbilt trails by 2. The payoff pitch. Fastball is swung on. It is popped up middle of the infield. This is playable for Bell. The shortstop makes the catch. There's the second out. Now good battle for Reynolds, but could not drive him in. Here's Barzy. Should say Brody Johnston.
Third baseman, number 9, Brody Johnston.
bottom of the third inning. Vanderbilt trails 2-0. Jelkin versus Johnston. Right versus right. First pitch. Breaking ball is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Last time for Brody to go deep was back on April 28th versus MTSU. No home runs in conference play since the Kentucky weekend versus Jelkin. The 1-0. Off the plate. That's the cutter. 2 balls, no strikes. But still a great season for Brody Johnston. 14 home runs, 44 RBI, 16 doubles. As Barzy at second base as Vanderbilt tries to get its first run. That pitch is swung on and missed. Breaking ball. Count goes to 2-1 here on Brody Johnston. Of course, Brody was the SEC Tournament MVP last year as a freshman. The 2-1. That's swung on, that's hit hard, that's under the glove of the second baseman, Lawrence Barzy turns the corner at third. Here comes the throw, it is cut off, and Brody Johnston delivers Vanderbilt's first run of the 2026 SEC Tournament. Base hit right back the middle for Brody, and it's 2-1. Boy, he just sizzled that pitch under the glove of Lawrence, the second baseman. And we'll see if Vanderbilt can build something with 2 outs. Here's Mike Mancini. Right versus left. Pickoff move back to first. 1 step for Brody to get back to the bag. Well, the double for Barzy. Base hit by Johnston. Vanderbilt is on the board, 2-1. Bottom of the third inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in their first strike. That's the curveball from Jelkin. No balls, 1 strike to Mancini, who was Vanderbilt's first base runner of the game back in the first. Worked his 25th walk in conference play. The 0-1. Mancini swings, grounds this one toward the right side, played by Lawrence. Steps, he fires on target to Brown at first base. That finishes off the bottom of the third inning, but Vanderbilt gets its first run. We go top of the fourth. Back in just a couple of seconds, it's 2-1. Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes every moment cheering on your team even better. Plus, the mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is Rocky Mountain cold, so you never have to guess if your Coors Light is ready to drink. So, crack one open, take a sip, and enjoy the game. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
No matter how you slice it, Nashville's favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is Will Toffee, part of the 2015 World Series team.
A towering 2-run drive by Will Toffee.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
The winner right there. Congratulations.
Welcome back as we go top of the fourth inning. Vanderbilt trails 2-1. Don't forget to contact Martin & Zerfos for solutions to your insurance, risk management, and group benefit needs. Martin & Zerfos, insuring Vandy fans since 1978. Again, Kentucky 2, Vanderbilt 1 as we go top of the fourth inning. As always, we welcome Vanderbilt's Director of Recruiting, John Michael Morris, up here to the booth. Welcome back to Hoover.
Thanks, Andrew. It's always good to be back up here in the Hoover booth with you. And we got a really good view today because we're on the second level, so a little higher in the sky.
This is the championship booth.
Is it? I couldn't remember. I know you said it was on the right.
It may have been the one next to me, but the second level is the championship level.
Okay. All right. Well, let's find some of that magic that we had 2 of the last 3 years.
Let's do it. First pitch by Fettel. It's a fastball for a strike outside corner. So again, 2 runs on 4 hits here for Kentucky, 1 run on 2 hits for Vanderbilt. A double by Barzy, base hit by Johnston. Here's the pitch. Misses off the plate. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was an enormous 2 out.
We've got Vanderbilt's first challenge.
Forgot I got to look out for that now.
Okay, so Corbin Reynolds makes the call. It is a strike.
Let's go, Corb. 1 for 1.
Love it. I think one of the things that I noticed in the first game is most of the challenges trend toward the defense, trend toward the pitcher. That's a leverage flip to the 0-2. Misses up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Truthfully, that's a little surprising to me because typically the strike zone at this level tends to be a little bigger when called organically.
A pitch is swung on, grounded toward the right side. Here's Mike Mancini. Glove steps and fires to Gooden. It's a 4-3 put out into the shift. So the challenge for Vanderbilt works out. They still have 3 as they get their first one correct here at Hoover.
You're right. Totally flips that at bat right there. And this is wild, Andrew. This is taking some getting used to. Like, you knew it was coming, you prepared for it, but still, it's weird to see it in play.
I do adore it. Here's the pitch to Marcy. Inside, fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. Again, the ABS strike zone is a little bit bigger in college than the ABS strike zone in Major League Baseball. That's swung on and missed. That's the cutter. 1 ball, 1 strike. The plate is 17 inches. The ABS strike zone is 19 inches, so 1 inch on either side of the plate. The 1-1. Misses off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, which is the buffer zone, which we've talked about all season long, so that's not new. They just didn't make that up out of whole cloth. The 2-1. There's a check swing. Did he go? He did as they check down to first base, and the count goes to 2-2 on Marcy. Nice pitch by Fennell. The 2-2. There's the changeup off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, 1 down. It's also a little bit taller. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the 4th strikeout for Fennell. 2 down. 101 strikeouts this season for the junior out of the Granite State.
I don't want to speak too early, Andrew, but you can feel a little bit of a momentum shift in this game right now and attribute Brody Johnson's 2-out base hit, picking up that run to that. That was huge, and now Fennell's got a little bit of that swagger back.
First pick, check swing. Did he go? He did as they check down to third base. That's Eddie Newsom. That makes the call here on Carson Hansen. Right versus left, the pitch by Fennell. That's spun on. There's a fly ball toward left center field. Holcomb is drifting at the track, at the fence. He will leap, and it is going to carry. And just like that, Hansen goes opposite field for a solo shot. It's the 5th hit of the game. New scores 3-1. Kentucky a 2-run advantage as Fennell gives up his 2nd solo home run of the game.
Well, Andrew, I'll wear that one right there. Totally jinxed that. Not a bad pitch at all. It was a little bit of a out on the front foot swing, and off the bat, that looked to me like it was going to be a harmless fly ball out there to left center field, and that thing just kept on carrying.
Here's Jenkins. Breaking ball for a strike. If there's one part of the ballpark where the wind's going to help a little bit here today, it's that part of the ballpark. That's swung on line, drive towards center. Here comes Rigdon, has to pull up. It's a base hit.
Yeah, you're right. In years past here, the ball does seem to catch a bit of a jet stream out that direction. If there is a good place to hit the ball in this ballpark, we know it traditionally plays pretty big, but what was it, 2 years ago there was all those home runs in the tournament, 2024, and then last year it was much more contained.
Up next for Kentucky is Cloud, the 9th spot. First pitch, inside corner. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Vanderbilt trails by 2, 3-1. Top of the 4th inning. Of course, Vanderbilt hit 2 very critical home runs during a very contained tournament to knock off Ole Miss in the championship game last year. Pickoff move back to first. Did they get him? Yes, sir! What a pickoff by Fennell. It does not look like Kentucky's going to challenge it as we take a look at Nick Mingione.
I think Nick Mingione's wanting the ball.
He's still talking about Fennell's motion. All right, so we'll step aside. We go bottom of the fourth inning. Vanderbilt trails by 2, 3-1. Despite some of the hard-hit baseballs, Vanderbilt is right there, down by just 2. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
NASCAR Powerball. The chase to 1 million is on.
Finalists, are you ready?
Don't miss your chance to collect cash prizes on your way to an all-new destination where you could take home $1 million.
Insane! The winner is contestant number 2!
I can't believe it. The official lottery game of NASCAR is back for the chase.
Enter at tnviprewards.com between May 1st and August 1st for your chance to win.
Martin and Zerfoss believes that insurance is the foundation upon which businesses and families build their futures. For over 45 years, our locally owned agency has worked with companies and individuals to build coverage that helps lower their risks. For all personal, commercial, risk management, and group benefits, call Martin and Zerfoss at 615-297-8500 or visit mzinsurance.com. Insuring Vandy fans since 1978.
What's going on, Commodore Nation? This is the 2013 SEC Player of the Year, Tony Kemp.
Sensational play by Tony Kemp.
And you are listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back as we go bottom of the fourth inning. From the Hoover Met, this is Game 2 of the SEC Tournament. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky. It was Missouri over Ole Miss in the first game. As Holcomb will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Vanderbilt trails by 2, 3-1. Andrew Allegretta here in the booth alongside Jay Moore. So glad you could join us on just a gorgeous day. Here from Hoover, Alabama, temperatures, it's toasty upper 80s here today. Holcomb, Johnstone, and Gooden versus Jackson Jelkin. First pitch to Holcomb. Swing and a miss. Changeup. No balls, 1 strike.
There's a few things that you can count on when you come to Hoover, Andrew. 1, it's going to be hot. 2, you're going to get some rain at some point. And 3, if you somehow have a night game, it's going to find a way to be a little bit chilly.
It's also going to go to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
That pitch is swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball, no balls, 2 strikes on Holcomb. Which, who's the nightcap here tonight?
I don't know, Andrew.
I've got no idea.
1 game at a time here, baby.
The 0-2. Off the plate. Breaking ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Holcomb. 0 for 1 so far. Grounded out. Last time up back in the first inning. The 1-2. Off the plate. Fastball at 96, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think it's Oklahoma versus LSU.
I'll go with it.
Sure.
I have no idea.
I think Tennessee versus South Carolina is next. The 2-2 fouls it off. Got the changeup that time, did Holcomb. So a good job so far by Jelkin. About 40 pitches, 3+ innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk given up, 1 double to Colin Barzy. Pitched 8 strong innings versus Vanderbilt in Lexington about a month ago. The 2-2 inside with a fastball, 95, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
They nearly rode in there and got the jersey of Braden Holcomb.
Payoff pitch to start the bottom of the fourth inning. He throws. Swing and a miss with a curveball. So the strikeout for Jelkin, his 3rd of the game.
Just started that breaking ball at the top of the zone, and you could see Braden Holcomb with that swing a little bit tied up. It was almost like a late defensive swing as that ball started to break back down towards the strike zone. Breaking ball at the top of the zone can be one of the toughest pitches to handle for a hitter.
Here's John Stone. First pitch misses inside. Breaking ball, back foot curveball misses. 1 ball, no strikes. You get just such a late swing on it.
Yeah. Your eyes tell you that it's a ball initially.
The 1-0. Inside corner. It's the cutter for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh for 1 so far for Johnstone. Struck out back in the 2nd inning. Right versus left the pitch. inside. Another cutter, 2 balls, 1 strike.
So then once you recognize that that's going to bend back down towards the strike zone, it becomes almost a very handsy swing. Your hands almost leading the swing. Everything a little bit out of sync.
The 2-1. There's a breaking ball, goes up and away this time. 3 balls, 1 strike on Johnstone.
You might ask, well, why don't you throw that pitch more often? Well, it's a tough pitch to execute, Andrew, because it's real easy to miss up with it, or it's real easy to leave a hanger.
And it gets crushed.
Yeah.
The 3-1. There's a strike inside corner fastball, 95. And Jelkin's difficult to handle regardless. A 6-pitch mix. A 3.56 ERA, 97 strikeouts this season, 18 walks like Fennell. He's a strike thrower. The 3-2. Inside, it's ball 4. Well, Vanderbilt gets a base runner here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Trails 3-1.
We just need you to talk about his strike throwing ability a little more often, Andrew. Maybe we'll
Let's
pick
do
up
it.
a few more free bases. Good patient at bat there by Logan Johnstone after he saw just 3 pitches in his first at bat. Saw a few more there and earns the walk.
That brings us to Gooden for Vanderbilt versus Jelkin, who's got a paltry 6 hit by pitches. He barely hits anybody. Only 6 all year.
That's not too bad.
Trying to set him up.
I get you. No, I
Okay.
get you. I'm saying he would never hit anybody. Why he wouldn't hit anybody in this situation? There's no way.
Time is called here for Kentucky as Jenkins the catcher. We'll talk with Nick Mingione and the equipment staff, or perhaps the training staff.
Oh, yeah, looking back at the replay on that ball 4 to Johnstone, it looked awkward when I saw it initially, but as they zoom in, as Jenkins reaches to try and backhand that ball, he completely whiffed on it with the glove, and it just hit nothing but wrist.
Boy, that's got to sting.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
I think a fastball 95, right off the wrist. A couple of warm-up tosses for Jelkin to Jenkins. And Gooden will be up next for Vanderbilt, 0 for 1 so far. With those 12 home runs for Vandy and 36 RBIs. Has Johnstone down at first base. Vanderbilt trails 3-1. Right versus left, pickoff move back to first base. Johnstone is safe. Well, infield, outfield, straight up here for Gooden, who certainly can tie this game with one thunderous swing. First pitch. There's a fastball off the plate, 95. 1 ball, no strikes, goes outside. Jelkin, 6'5", a junior out of Omaha, Nebraska, versus Gooden, 6'1", from California. Here's the pitch. That spun hit hardcore to the right side. It's a base hit here for Gooden. Johnstone goes station to station as the throw from Hansen goes to third base.
Extra room on that right side for Tommy Gooden with the man on first base, Logan Johnstone. Kentucky obviously holding him on. T. Goody gets a breaking ball, 108 off the bat, rips it through that 4-hole on the right side. Because it was so hard hit, Logan Johnstone has to settle in at second base. Can't go first to third. Don't want to take any chances. Certainly can't make an out at third base at this juncture in the game.
Big spot for Wade. First pitch. It's a strike, top of the zone. Curveball. No balls, 1 strike for Jelkin versus Riker Wade, who's 0 for 1 so far. Strikeout back in the second. Right versus left. The switch hitter from Arizona. Runners at first and second, 1 down. From the stretch, Jelkin throws. That goes inside. He did not go on the check swing. That has been the pitch versus Riker. That hard breaker on the back foot. He has almost swung a couple of times. In fact, did go through in that first at-bat back in the second on that very pitch. The 1-1. That spun, that is hit toward the gap in left center field, but it's going to hang. It is caught by Tarnish. Not a bad swing by Riker, but it just hung up.
Just got a little bit underneath it and couldn't quite drive that thing into the left center field gap. Another hard slider there from Jelkin. You're right. That is the plan of attack Kentucky has against Riker Waite. They're going to hammer him inside with that pitch, try and jam him up. That time Riker was able to get the barrel to it, but a little bit underneath it.
That brings us to Rustin Rigdon with 2 down. First pitch. That's swung. That's hit toward left field. It is going to get caught. Oh, goodness. Well, perhaps one of the bigger opportunities of the game. We've got forever to go, that's for sure. But one of the bigger moments for Vanderbilt offensively. Runners at first and second cannot push across a run. We go top of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails 3-1. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
When a car or truck wreck turns your world upside down, you shouldn't have to face the insurance companies alone. At Ponce Law, our experienced Tennessee personal injury attorneys are here to fight for every dollar you deserve. With over 30 years serving injured victims across Tennessee. And here's the best part. You pay nothing unless we win your case. Call Ponce Law 24/7 at 615-851-1776 or visit PonceLaw.com for your free consultation because justice should never wait.
Hey, this is 2025 SEC champion Riley Nelson.
A grand slam! Riley Nelson! He drills it to right!
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
Welcome back as we go top of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky here at the SEC tournament where Coach Corbin is the all-time winningest coach with 50 victories. JM, trivia.
Okay.
Who is second? Who is third?
Who's third? Can I get a hint? Is number 2 active still?
All-time. Who is the all-time top 3 winningest coaches in the history of the SEC baseball tournament?
Okay, so the person in second place is not an active coach still.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Here's Cloud to start things off versus Fennell. Breaking ball misses low. 1 ball, no strikes.
So my guess would be Skip Bertman.
That would be 3.
That would be 3. Okay.
With 43 victories here, the 1-0. There's a swing and a miss. Change up that time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cloud. Vanderbilt trails 3-1, top of the 5th inning.
Would Ron Polk be on that list?
That would be number 2.
All right. I got it. Look at me.
With 46 victories. There's a swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2 fastball that time. So Coach Corbin became the all-time winningest coach at the SEC tournament back in 2024 and built on that last year. The 1-2. That misses off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, it was not always a single elimination tournament. But Vanderbilt has been to the finals 11 times under Coach Corbin. Fastball up and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, has 4 championships under Coach Corbin and 1 back in 1980. The 3-2. That swung on, bounces it foul, changeup.
The reason for my clarification on active or non-active, obviously Van Horn has been in this conference a really long time, so I didn't know if maybe he snuck his way in there somewhere, or obviously Coach Bianco.
The 3-2. Inside ball 4 for Fennell. Here's Jace Tarnish, top of the order for Kentucky. Both of those two would have been very, very good guesses. But it goes 1, Corbin, 2, Ron Polk, 3, Skip Bertman. In terms of championships, there's a 3-way tie for 6 of them. That would be Bertman, Maneri, and Jim Wells from Alabama. That pitch is swung on. This is lifted foul, right field side. Noah putting out, top of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails by 2.
And how many do they have?
6.
6.
And Coach Corbin's got 4. There was a time when they handed out an SEC East and SEC West championship in the 90s for a couple of seasons. The 0-1. There's a fastball for a strike, top of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Another strikeout here for Fennell. That's a big get-back pitch after letting Cloud get away down to first base.
Well, that was the slow ball there from Connor Fennell to get the strikeout. Breaking ball at 67 miles an hour. Just absolutely pulled the string. Big out right there for Connor Fennell after the leadoff walk. And we're starting to get into that pitch count territory where you got to watch because Fennell can start to tire when you get above 70.
Here's the pitch. That's swung on and missed. Nice slider to Tyler Bell, who's 2 for 2 so far today. A double and a home run. Runner down at first base. This is a massive at-bat for Fennell. Like you said, 77 pitches for Fennell. The exit velos start to go up a little bit in this territory. A pitch, changeup off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Fennell has done a great job so far today limiting any damage. But with Bell at the plate, a 2-run shot is a much different deal. Pickoff move back to first base. Ooh, almost got him. But Cloud is safe. The 1-1. Swing and a miss on the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bell.
Again, Fennell dropping that slider down to 68 miles an hour to get a big swing and a miss from Tyler Bell.
The 1-2. Misses off the plate. Slider did not chase. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, Bell is a big-time prospect.
Yeah, he is. Of course, a pretty high draft pick out of high school. You and I talked about when we were in Lexington. 2nd round, maybe?
Think so. The 2-2. There's a slider swung on. Fly ball towards center field. The wind is going to push this here for Rustin Rigdon, but the catch is made just shy of the track. Runner retreats, goes back to first base. Good job by Fennell to induce the pop-up. There's a little carry to that left side of the field here today. There's not a ton of wind, but whatever there is going to catch the jet stream and push it toward left field.
Sure it is. Brewster Rigdon looked like the Roadrunner right there. He thought he was camped under it, and then all of a sudden the feet were spinning trying to get going back towards the fence, and then he settled in just shy of the warning track there.
Up next is Luke Lawrence. Fastball, first strike, runner goes. There's the throw by Corbin, not in time. Stolen base here for Cloud. I think Corbin was caught off guard, huh?
That was a delayed steal there from Cloud. That is why that is an effective play. That's Braden Holcomb. That's the Braden Holcomb special right there, Andrew. Just when the defense thinks you're not going, you kind of take off in the 11th hour, and that's what happened there.
Runner down at second, the 0-1. Fouls it off. Elevates the fastball, 88 here for Fennell. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk so far.
The mechanics of throwing out a runner are such a rhythm play, and so when you delay steal, catcher catches it, doesn't realize you're going, then tries to restart the arm. It's just awkward.
Right versus left. No balls, 2 strikes. With 2 down. Fennell fires. Up and away. Fastball doesn't chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The delayed steal would probably be your only shot at swiping a bag, Andrew.
100%. There's a pickoff move back to second. Ooh, so close. Did not get it.
Well, we know that Kentucky can be a little reckless on the bases at times. That is the scouting report. And Connor Fennell already has 1 pickoff in this game. Just about had a second right there. Looks like Corbin Reynolds is getting a new earpiece for the PitchCom system.
As a side note, I would say we're certainly in leverage territory here in the top of the 5th inning. If Vanderbilt wants to challenge something, this is definitely a spot if they need to. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner down at second base. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is swung on. This is popped up This one is drifting foul, third base line. Nice catch.
Look at that.
Really good stuff. A kid with a green glove. Leans over one of the seats, makes the play. Good stuff.
Young guy with some hands, Andrew. And a stylish glove. Green glove, gray hat with some pink on it. He's flashy.
What a cool moment for him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. And Fennell throws to Lawrence. He fouls it off, right back. Again, we do have the ABS challenge system here on balls and strikes this week. Pitcher, catcher, and hitters are the ones that can initiate the challenges in 2 to 3 seconds after the pitch. This is a leverage spot for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners at second, the pitch. Misses inside. Breaking ball is blocked by Reynolds. Count goes to 2-2.
Nice job by Corbin Reynolds sliding over to that inner part of the plate. Keep that ball in front. And Cloud down at second base.
The 2-2. That's swung on, grounded toward the right side. It's a foul ball. The play is called dead by David Susi, our second base umpire. I think it also kicked off one of the ankle guards or elbow guards or something. Oh, it was the sliding glove that came out of the back pocket of Lawrence on the play.
It's a couple times we've seen that happen for him. I wonder what that sliding guard, because his sticks out of his back pocket a lot. What if a ball is thrown behind him and clips that sliding mitt that's really hanging out there? Is that a hit by pitch?
I kind of think so. I don't know. The 2-2. Swings and fouls it off left field line, twisting toward the berm, and it's out of play. Big battle here for Fennell versus Lawrence. Top of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails 3-1. Opening day of the SEC tournament, single elimination these days. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And Fennell throws. That spot hit toward the gap in left center field. It's down. It's a hit. It's going to score a run as Cloud is in from second base. It's a double for Lawrence. He goes backside on the changeup. New score, 4-1.
Unfortunately, had him 0-2. He battled, fouled off a bunch of tough pitches until he got a changeup that stayed up in the zone that he was able to shoot out there into that left center field gap.
Well, 4 runs on 7 hits for Kentucky versus Fennell, who did throw back on Thursday, so 90 pitches here for Vanderbilt starter, 4 2/3. You've got to think he's tiring, for sure. He was probably tired to start the game.
Yeah, that's short rest. No doubt about it.
A back-to-back short rest, too.
Uh-huh. You wonder if there's a little bit of stall tactic going on right now, if he's going to get to face this next hitter or not. Looks like it for the time being, anyway.
Dangerous hitter here for Kentucky. One of the biggest power bats they've got with 11 home runs, Ethan Hindle. A spin back to second base. There's the throw to Mancini. Looks like Vanderbilt has Alex Kranzler getting close down that right field line.
Yeah, I think right now he's trying to buy a little bit of time for Kranzler to get hot.
And a spin back to second base. At some point, there might be a limit on pickoff moves during an at-bat. But not right now. And here comes number 4 to get the baseball from Fennell. Oh, he pitched his heart out here today, but back-to-back short rests. Did not pitch poorly, but does give up 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 solo shots, 2 doubles, and Kentucky scrapes across 4 runs off of Fennell after the first time getting just 1 in 6 1/3 in Lexington. That's going to do it here for the kid from New Hampshire. Coach Corbin grabs the baseball, pats him on the leg. They'll give Alex Kranzler a couple of extra seconds. They'll make Jeff Head come out and break up the meeting. There we go. We'll step aside, come back in just a couple of seconds after this. New pitcher for Vanderbilt, 4-1. Top of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails by 3. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Vanderbilt Business offers degree and certificate programs designed to help you gain the knowledge, connections, and confidence to achieve your unique goals. We're committed to creating opportunities for you to discover, grow, and thrive at every stage of your career, whether you're just starting out or working your way to the C-suite. Let our dedicated staff and faculty help you take the next step in your professional journey. Visit vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down today. That's vanderbiltbusiness.com/anchor down.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
Nashville, there's a new way to cheer on the Commodores. Jackalope Brewing Company is proud to brew Conquer and Prevail Pale Ale, Vanderbilt's craft beer collaboration with Jackalope Brewing Company. Stop by Memorial Gymnasium, the Jackalope Brewing Company tap room, or your favorite local beer store and ask for Conquer and Prevail. Crafted in Nashville, built for good times. Please enjoy responsibly. 21 plus.
Hey, this is Mike Yastrzemski, part of the 2011 College World Series team, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Trip Herd with you back inside the Learfield Network studio. Quick scoreboard update. We told you Duke able to pick off NC State in the opener of the ACC tournament. And right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, classic ACC matchup. Cal taking on Stanford. Right now the Cardinal lead the Bears 10-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th. One other game in progress in the Big Ten tournament. Right now, Illinois and Iowa tied up at 6 runs apiece. They're in the bottom of the 7th there. Right now, we'll send it back to the booth in Hoover. Here's Andrew Allegretta.
Tripp, thank you so much. Indeed, a classic ACC matchup, Cal versus Stanford. I loved it when the band was on. Was that Cal versus Stanford? The band was on the field in a critical ACC matchup years ago.
Yep, that was one of the craziest endings to a football game we ever saw.
Which, by the way, impacted Vanderbilt.
How so?
Vanderbilt was going to play Stanford in their bowl game, the Hall of Fame Classic in 1982, until they weren't.
Wow. Didn't know that. Learn something every day you come to the ballpark, Andrew.
There you go. Okay, so Alex Kranzler, first pitch to Hindle. That's spun. There's a fly ball towards center field. It's going to actually drift back toward the infield. This is Riker Waite, makes the catch behind the second base bag. How about that? Kranzler out of the bullpen throws one pitch, a fastball 92, induces the pop-up. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, that'll work. One pitch, one out. We'll take it.
Our score 4-1. Vanderbilt trails by 3. We go bottom 5. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes every moment cheering on your team even better. Plus, the mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is Rocky Mountain cold. So you never have to guess if your Coors Light is ready to drink. So crack one open, take a sip, and enjoy the game. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Hey, this is 2019 National Champion Drake Fellows, and you're listening to Vandy Boys Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Down, Vanderbilt on top of the college baseball world again.
Well, for all things college baseball, including live games and talk, tune into SiriusXM, College Porch Radio. Channel 84, and streaming on the Sirius XM app. Andrew Allegretti here in the booth alongside J.M. Morris as Barzy to lead things off for Vanderbilt, trailing by 3, bottom of the 5th inning.
Leading off with the Commodores, number 44, the designated hitter, Colin Barzy.
Oh, Barzy's 1 for 1, picked up a double back in the 3rd as Brody Johnston drove him home for Vanderbilt's 1 run so far versus Jelkin. Right versus right. The 6'5" righty out of Nebraska throws. Breaking ball misses off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. On his 4th school, starts at Nebraska, goes to a junior college. Goes to Houston, now comes to Kentucky. Uber confident pitcher with 6 pitches. The 1-0. Barzy takes, curveball, first strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's limping a little bit, Andrew. I noticed he was trying to stretch his leg out during warm-ups, and now, it looks like he's going to get a visit from Coach Mingione and the athletic training staff here. Something's not right.
Well, this is their guy. They very much manipulated the situation so Jelkin would throw here today. He came out of the bullpen versus Arkansas in what Kentucky felt like was a must-win game back on Thursday. He shut the door, got the victory. Arkansas won the next 2 games. But they manipulated that situation so Jackson Jelkin would be on the most rest possible here today. I don't think they were planning on going to the bullpen anytime soon. And they won't here.
Maybe it's
just 56 pitches so far for Jelkin. Well, 1 ball, 1 strike here for Barzy.
I'm sure he has 1 blue fingernail on his throwing hand. I just noticed.
Oh. That's a good thing to notice. That misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch that time. I wonder why.
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. See if we had an investigative team, we would get to the bottom of this.
The 2-1. That swung on this one is popped up. This is shallow center field. Here comes Tarnish, the center fielder, makes the catch as Bell sidesteps out of the way. 1 down.
Just an off-speed pitch there from Jelkin that had Barzy out in front. Almost scary situation there in center field. Infielder going backwards, outfielder coming in full speed. Those are always, you got to communicate very clearly.
First pitch to Reynolds. Fastball for a strike outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses, and a challenge has been called for here by Kentucky's catcher.
Catcher challenging pitch.
It is a strike. That's a buffer zone strike, but it's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Reynolds. The 0-2 swings and fouls off a fastball up and in at 94.
How Corbin Reynolds got his hands through on that ball and ripped it off the facing of the Kentucky dugout, I'm not sure, because that was 94 bearing in on the hands. Hit it before it hits you.
0-2. That swung on, hit, foul, third base line, not by much, bouncing ball by Reynolds. No balls, 2 strikes on Vanderbilt's catcher.
I was going to say, that breaking ball hung up in the zone. It gave Corbin a chance to get that barrel through the zone and just a little out in front. Maybe a sign Jelkin starting to tire a little, or that leg maybe bothering him.
That pitch, it swung on, bounced foul. Third base side, fastball, 95 once again for Jelkin.
We haven't seen that breaking ball left up from him much today. He's done a really nice job of starting that thing down in the zone and allowing the natural shape of the ball to take it out of the zone.
with one down, the 0-2. Inside, it's a hit by pitch, and Vanderbilt gets a much-needed base runner. So for just the 7th time this season, Jelkin hits a batter, and for Corbin Reynolds, that's number 16.
Well, if he was going to hit a guy, you knew it was going to be Corbin Reynolds. There's no doubt about that. But again, that was the breaking ball from Jelkin. Just got away from him, popped out of the hand, caught Corbin Reynolds. That's back-to-back breaking balls now that we've seen him leaving up in the zone, unable to command that thing like he has been earlier in the game. Hopefully that's a good sign, Andrew, for us.
That brings Vanderbilt to Brody Johnston, top of the order here today. Vanderbilt trails by 3. First pitch, fastball up and in. Of course, last year's tournament MVP, Brody Johnston, went 4 for 12 for Vanderbilt, a home run and 2 RBIs. The 1-0. That swung on. Foul ball right back a little bit below us.
Pretty good pass there. That pitch by Brody Johnston, one of the better swings we've seen from him today.
Right versus right for Brody. Bottom of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails 4-1. Jelkin throws. That swung on, hit toward the left side. It might be 2. Bell off to Lawrence. That's 1. There's the spin. Off to first base. It's a double play. 6-4-3. And despite the hit by pitch, Jelkin throws 3 pitches to Brody Johnston, and that finishes off the bottom of the 5th inning. Vanderbilt trails by 3. Back in just a couple of seconds to Hoover. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
And now for a little something you might not have known. Brought to you by the Tennessee Lottery. According to an Old English superstition, it's considered unlucky to buy a broom in the month of May. So forget about that spring cleaning and play the new May Instant Games from the Tennessee Lottery instead, with chances to win up to $1 million. A housekeeper may be in your future. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, this is Luke Murphy, part of the 2021 College World Series team, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network.
Welcome back as we go top of the 6th inning. Here from Hoover, Alabama, Andrew Aldergretta here in the booth alongside J.M. Morris. Trip Hurd back inside our Vanderbilt Network studios. The Tennessee Lottery is proud to have raised more than $8 billion to support education programs in our state. This is the opening day of the SEC tournaments. The first game went to Missouri versus Ole Miss, so the Tigers still alive. And very much for both sides here today, it feels like an NCAA tournament elimination game. Vanderbilt likely is going to have to make a hefty run regardless of today's outcome. I do feel like Kentucky thinks they're going to push pretty hard for the NCAA tournament with one victory here this year, but we'll see. Here's Hudson Brown versus Kranzler. First pitch, breaking ball for a strike as Jeff Head leaves his microphone is on.
I've never seen that, Andrew.
That was good.
That's a first for me.
Why was his microphone on to start with?
I don't know.
There's a breaking ball for a strike, no balls, 2 strikes. It's not like he just made a call.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he accidentally bumped it on. But everybody in the stadium knew that first pitch was a called strike, that's for sure.
We sure did. No balls, 2 strikes on Brown. Middle part of the order. That pitch is fouled off. Bounces back toward Vanderbilt's dugout. No balls, 2 strikes on Hudson Brown. First baseman for Kentucky. Vanderbilt trails 4-1. Top of the 6th inning. Well, the shift is on for the lefty. The pitch. That swung on, bounced toward the right side. It's played by Brody Johnston. In the shift, he goes 5-3. Off to Gooden to get the first out of the top of the 6th inning.
That's why you play him in that alignment, Andrew. Bounces right into that additional defender placed over there on the right side.
Up next for Kentucky is Will Marcy. First pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Boy, it's just got to be a trip to go from Fennell at 86-87 to Kranzler at 92-93, if not up to 96 at some times. There's a breaking ball that misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Certainly a different look.
The 1-1. Nice breaking ball, swung on and missed. Curveball that time for Kranzler, 1 ball, 2 strikes versus Will Marcy, 0 for 2 here today.
In addition to that, a lot of what Kranzler throws has downward movement to it, whereas Fennell, it's more high ride with the fastball.
That pitch is swung on and missed. It's a strikeout. Nice breaking ball for Kranzler. And erases Will Marcy, out number 2. Bases empty, top of the 6th inning. Not just a gorgeous day here from Hooper, Alabama. Temperatures upper 80s, light breeze to left field. Up next is Carson Hansen. First pitch swung on, popped up towards center field. Rustin Rigdon shuffles back a few steps, looks through the sunglasses, makes the catch, and Alex Kranzler. We talk about time of possession as Coach Corbin does, offensively and defensively, does a great job in the top of the 6th inning. 4-1. We go bottom 6 from the Hooper Mets. Day 1 of the SEC Tournament 2026. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Nashville, there's a new way to cheer on the Commodores. Jackalope Brewing Company is proud to brew Conquer and Prevail Pale Ale, Vanderbilt's craft beer collaboration with Jackalope Brewing Company. Stop by Memorial Gymnasium, the Jackalope Brewing Company tap room, or your favorite local beer store and ask for Conquer and Prevail. Crafted in Nashville, built for good times. Please enjoy responsibly. 21 plus.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
This is 2021 SEC Freshman of the Year, Enrique Bradfield Jr.
There's the throw down to second. He is safe.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back as we go bottom of the 6th inning. Vanderbilt trails by 3, 4-1. Andrew Allegretta here in the booth alongside J.M. Morris. Gorgeous afternoon here from Hoover. Temperatures upper 80s from the Hoover Met. To a border for Vanderbilt is Mike Mancini, Brandon Holcomb, Logan Johnstone versus Jackson Jelkin. 70 pitches so far, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 double by Barzy, 1 hit by pitch. That came versus Corbin Reynolds. And Vanderbilt's 1 run off the bat of Brody Johnston to score Barzy after the double. Right versus left versus the second-team All-SEC selection, Mike Mancini. That swung on, fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. Congratulations to Mike's second-team All-SEC plus All-Defensive Team selection. Here this season, he's had a tremendous year for Vandy.
He sure has. You and I have talked about what he's meant to this team the entire year. Consistent performer.
The 0-1, inside, off-speed pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Certainly took it to another level when he moved back to the infield and has played an outstanding second base for this team.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As mentioned, 15 home runs, 19 stolen bases. The first 15-15 season for Vanderbilt since Jaron Kendall in 2017. The 1-2, inside, breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Mancini. 0 for 1 so far today. Did walk back in the first inning. The 2-2, swing and a miss. That back foot breaking ball, Mike Mancini strikes out.
Well, that has been a difficult pitch today for these left-handed hitters from Jelkin. That has been the out pitch to guys like Mancini, Riker Waite, Logan Johnstone. It's a difficult pitch to get the barrel to. Also a difficult pitch to lay off of.
Up next for Vanderbilt is Braden Holcomb, as Jelkin steps off the mound for just a second. Over 2 so far for Holcomb. But of course, the 78 hits this season for Holcomb is good for second most in the SEC. Only behind Daniel Jackson from Georgia. Inside fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. Who's at 84, and that was good enough to win the SEC Player of the Year. That's the kind of season that Holcomb's had.
Those are pretty gaudy numbers when you look at them across the board.
The 1-0. Holcomb swings. He'll pop this one up towards right field. Here comes Hansen. Keeps on coming, makes the catch. Shallow right field, there's 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Vanderbilt trails by 3.
Right now, you just need base runners. Jelkin has been in a bit of a groove here over these last few frames. Pitch count just at 76 right now here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's got to find a way to make him work a little bit, which is easier said than done.
The guy throws a lot of strikes. It's hard to drive that pitch count up.
That pitch misses inside. Fastball at 94. 1 ball, no strikes. Oh, for sure. He does not walk a ton of guys. 98 strikeouts, 19 walks here this season. He is difficult to make work. But your season's on the line if you're Vanderbilt. Bottom of the 6th inning. Got to find something. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Misses off the plate, and Kentucky will challenge. They're 2 for 2 so far.
That one, to me, looked like it was outside, Andrew. But we've not seen a challenge not overturned yet, so we'll see.
Here you go. Well, Kentucky has lost their first challenge. A breaking ball kind of wraps around the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Base is empty for Vanderbilt. 2 down. Here's the 2-0. Inside ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
Should be an auto take here for Logan Johnstone, 3-0.
There's a fastball, dots it up outside part of the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. Count goes 3-2.
Another one of those elevated breaking balls I was talking about earlier. Starts above the zone and just slowly works its way down. Kind of a late swing there by Johnstone.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul tip by Johnstone to just stay alive. Off-speed pitch that time.
Yeah, that was the changeup. He just kind of waved at it. Just did get a piece, and I think that also got a piece of the leg for catcher Owen Jenkins.
The 3-2. Fouls it off. Well, for Vanderbilt, they trail 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Jelkin fires. Outside ball 4. Good job here by Logan Johnstone to work the walk.
And that's a big-time walk right there. Now pitch count up to 85, so you know at least you can tag a few more on him here in this inning. Get him closer to that century mark going into the 7th. Tommy Gooden also, too, Andrew. We know how he can change the scoreboard. Get something out over the plate that he can get the barrel to. He can ride that thing out of here in a hurry.
Right versus left for Gooden. First pitch. Off the plate, changeup. 1 ball, no strikes. And Jelkin wants a new baseball. And here comes the pitching coach for Kentucky. It is very, very light action for Kentucky, just starting to get some guys loose. Again, Jelkin, 84 pitches. He's faced 22 batters. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. The only run for Vanderbilt, bottom of the 3rd inning. A base hit with 2 outs by Brody Johnston to score Barzy from second base. Well, big spot here for Tommy Gooden, Vanderbilt sophomore out of Thousand Oaks, California. With those 12 home runs, one of 6 Commodores this season with double-digit home runs. John Stone's down at first base, right versus left, the 1-0. Tommy swings, he's going to fly this one down the right field line, but it's going to bend back toward the berm. Way foul on the off-speed pitch, as Gooden did get his hands through, but just couldn't straighten it out.
That was the big slow breaking ball again from Jelkin, not that tighter slider that we've seen, and we've seen that bigger breaking ball get a little loopy here later in this ball game.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That's the cutter/slider.
Yeah, that one's the tighter one right there. Less vertical movement, but tighter, quicker, and shorter.
The 1-2 with 2 down. Jelkin throws. That swung on line drive towards center field. It's going to drop in a base hit here for Tommy Gooden to keep the line moving. Here for Vanderbilt, Riker Waits is up next.
Goes back to the breaking ball again there. Leaves that one up and elevated out over the plate. Tommy Gooden, man, second base hit of the day. Kid can swing it. Ball was hammered into center field for the base hit. Move the line. Continue to add to this pitch count. Now if you could pick up a big 2-out base hit right here, get a run across the board with Riker Wade at the plate, certainly changes the outlook of this inning and this ball game.
First pitch to Riker. Breaking ball, a slow one, drops in for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Right versus left, 0 for 2 so far for Waits. He's 0 for 5 this season versus Jelkin. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Inside. At 92. 1 ball, 1 strike to Riker. Did get 1 RBI versus Jelkin back in Lexington. The 1-1. Breaking ball, a slow one, swing and a miss here for Riker. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Perhaps the at-bat of the game. Here for Vanderbilt, and knowing the stakes with the NCAA tournament, it is sizable for Riker. Bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-2. Outside. Off-speed pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, the guys can't think about that. They try their best not to, but they understand the stakes. What a moment here for the sophomore out of Arizona. The 2-2. That swung hit toward the right side. It's going to get through here for Riker. Johnstone turns the corner from third. He will hustle home, and Vanderbilt gets its 2nd run of the game, 4-2. Oh, for the 2nd time here today, Vanderbilt gets a 2-out RBI.
I'll talk about building this inning from scratch, man. 2 outs. Logan Johnstone works the walk. Tommy Gooden comes up with a big 2-out base hit to keep the line moving, and then Riker Wade, 2-2 pitch. He gets a fastball that he can handle. He's on time for it and pulls it through that shift to the right of second base, and that is a massive 2-out RBI for Riker Wade.
New score, 4-2. Vanderbilt trails. First pitch to Rigdon, off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. 0 for 2 so far for Rigdon, but a couple of good swings versus Jelkin. Hard hit baseball back in the 4th inning, caught by the left fielder. The 1-0. It drops in, curveball for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, right versus left for the sophomore out of Metter, Georgia.
Kentucky finally does have action in the bullpen.
0 for 4 this season versus Jelkin. Up and in, gets the strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No challenge here from Rustin. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, and 2 on. Here's the pitch. That swung hit right back up middle. It's going to get through for Rigdon with 2 strikes. Tommy Gooden, he's going to bust his way home. It's a brand new game, 4-3. Vanderbilt within 1. Back-to-back 2-out RBI base hits here for the Doors in a critical spot in Hoover.
Find a way, Andrew. Rustin Rigdon, we saw him barrel a baseball his last time up with nothing to show for it. That one not hit nearly as hard, but sometimes it's more about where you hit it. Out in front on a breaking ball, but does a nice job keeping his hands, keeping the barrel through the zone for a long time, and just guiding that thing right up the middle of the field for another 2-out RBI.
Up next for Vanderbilt is Colin Barzy. Runners at the corners. Doors trail by 1. Pickoff move back to first base. Rigdon is safe. The tying run down at third base here for Vanderbilt versus Jackson Jelkin. What a massive spot for Vanderbilt, the 12th seed. The defending champs here at Hoover. Right versus right. First pitch to Barzy. Runner goes. It's swung on, grounded toward third. It's going to bounce foul. Got the off-speed pitch to run on, but Barzy just yanks it. No balls, 1 strike on Barzy. Well, time is called by Jason Esposito for Barzy, who's back in the ballpark, where he hit his very first career home run versus Tennessee back in 2024. A patented Colin Barzy backside big fly in that first victory versus Tennessee back in 2024.
I remember it well. And man, he hit the ball so hard that year as a freshman with just very little to show for it at times. Like, you look at Barzy's numbers as a freshman, you think, oh, he didn't have a very good year, but that does not tell the story. He was hitting rockets all over the field that entire season. Just right at people.
Runners at the corners. The 0-1. That swung on, hit toward the left side. It's gonna get through it. Barzy has tied the game. Riker scampers home. It is 4-4. What a clutch. Bottom of the 6th inning here for the Commodores. Oh, you bet, versus Jelkin.
I mean, clutch. You said it, Andrew. All of this with 2 outs. There was nobody on, Andrew. Again, great at bat by Logan Johnstone to work the walk and keep this inning going, and then Colin Barzy right there gets another breaking ball that stays up in the zone and pulls it through that 6-hole over there. And as I said, that breaking ball for Jelkin was starting to roll a little bit, and these guys are seeing it up in the zone and they're hitting it hard.
Here comes Nick Mingione. That will do it for Jackson Jelkin after cruising through 5 and making life really, really difficult for Vanderbilt. It is 3 consecutive 2-out singles. It's like the Tennessee game from a season ago.
You've been praying and asking for another game like the Tennessee game from a season ago. Keep the singles rolling, Andrew.
10 runs on 13 singles last year for Vanderbilt versus the Vols to advance to the championship game. I'll take another single right now. It would give Vanderbilt the advantage. We'll step aside. We'll find out who the new pitcher is for Kentucky. I'll also take a 3-run shot. That's okay, too. Back after this, we're tied up at 4. In the bottom of the 6th inning. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease offers today.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes every moment cheering on your team even better. Plus, the mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is Rocky Mountain cold. So you never have to guess if your Coors Light is ready to drink. So crack one open, take a sip, and enjoy the game. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Reliable, quality, loved. Coach Corbin and the Vandy boys personify everything that's good about collegiate baseball. Same goes with San Antonio Taco Company. Dependable, the freshest made from scratch ingredients, and loved. Just like San Antonio Taco Company's con queso, the Vandy baseball mystique is famous. Now, we can't tell you how the score will turn out during each Vandy game this season, but we can tell you where to get the best Tex-Mex in Nashville before and after the game. You gotta go to Sadco on 21st Avenue South and online at thesadco.com.
Hey, this is Nate Bargatze, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
27-ounce Vandy wins it!
Go Doors!
New pitcher for Kentucky is Jack Sams out of the bullpen. 14 1/3, 1.26 ERA. Right versus right with the freshman Corbin Reynolds. Runners at first and second, Rigdon and Barzy. First pitch to Reynolds. Fastball for strike, bottom part of the zone at 91. So Vanderbilt has collected 3 consecutive 2-out singles to tie the game at 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The shift is on for Reynolds. The 0-1. There's a fastball, bottom part of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Got the call at 91. Rigdon's at second base. Barzy's at first base. Here's the pitch. That spun, bouncing ball toward third plate on the back hop. He'll throw to first base. It is dropped by the first baseman, Brown. Here comes Vanderbilt's 5th run. It's Rustin Rigdon.
Wow, what a break there, Andrew. You could see some indecision in Cloud there after he fielded that ball. Initially wanted to go to second base for the force out, and then I don't know if he didn't think he had time or maybe couldn't have to see. Maybe Lawrence wasn't covering. So he tried to readjust his feet and make a late throw to first base, and then he just yanked it wide over there. What a break for the Doors. Give us the lead, Andrew. Off the mat.
Vanderbilt 5-4, JM. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Brown is certainly not a short first baseman at 6'6". He stretched as much as he could down that right field line, and it still clipped off his glove. That brings us top of the order to Brody Johnston. Runners at the corners, Barzy's at third. First pitch by Sams. Yanks it off the plate, breaking ball. All of this with 2 outs, JM.
It's unbelievable. We know the 2-out magic this team had last season, and we've seen it a little bit here recently with this group as well. How about that 3-run homer you were talking about now with Brody Johnston at the plate, Andrew?
That would be sizable. That pitch runs up and in. Again, Brody Johnston does not have a home run in conference play since Kentucky.
A little foreshadowing there, Andrew. Speak it into existence. Tell you what, though, this team, no matter what, they never stop battling. You've got to give them credit.
The 2-0. Brody takes down. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck is Mike Mancini as Vanderbilt has batted around here in the bottom of the 6th inning. What a huge moment for a team that absolutely had to have it. The 3-0. There's a strike, top of the zone.
That was up there.
Barzy's at third base. Reynolds at first. That pitch is up and in, ball 4. Bases are loaded for Vanderbilt's only all-SEC selection, Mike Mancini.
All right, man at the plate, Andrew. Who else would you want than Mike Mancini? He's had so many big hits this season. The numbers, the production, it is there across the board. Obviously doesn't matter now because Brody took ball 4 anyway, but Will Owens and I were talking earlier about the ABS system, and he made a good point. A lot of 3-0 pitches. Sometimes the zone is even bigger because umpires will give you just about anything if it's around the zone, 3-0. And I wonder if we're going to start seeing more challenges on 3-0 pitches because that was certainly borderline. It was, if it caught the strike zone, it was the very tippy top of the strike zone to Brody Johnson.
Which again, the strike zone is a little bit bigger than your typical MLB ABS strike zone. That just is what it is. That's the buffer zone. Here comes Mike Mancini. Bases loaded for Vanderbilt versus Sams. Right versus left. First pitch. Off-speed pitch for strike, settles in the zone. No balls, 1 strike. You've got Barzy at third, Reynolds at second, Johnston's at first base. Vanderbilt in those all-white uniforms with black pins. The Doors 5-4. Here's the pitch. A check swing. It's a strike.
Is it on the swing or the pitch?
That's the question that I've got. If you're Mike Mancini, that is a plausible spot to challenge if it's on the pitch. The 0-2. Up and in at the eyes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vanderbilt 5-4. It's Jack Sams versus Mike Mancini. Bases loaded. The 1-2. That's spun on. This is popped up, drifting foul territory, third baseline, backing out of play. Again for Vanderbilt, a 2-out walk by Johnstone. Single for Gooden, for Waits, for Rigdon, for Barzy. E5 with Corbin Reynolds. A base on ball to Johnston. And right back to Mike Mancini, bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-2. That's swung on, fouls it off. Fastball 92, left field line. Mike Mancini went 4 for 8 in the SEC tournament a season ago. Has a massive spot right now, the senior out of Endwell, New York. The 1-2. That's swung on, that's hit hard towards center field. This is well struck. Harnish is at the track and makes the catch. Ooh.
Heck of a swing there by Mancini.
Heck of a swing for Mike Mancini as he bids for a grand slam, but just didn't get all of it. Vanderbilt gets 4 runs, bottom of the 6th inning. The Doors out in front, 5-4. Now Vanderbilt's bullpen has to go to work. We'll step aside, come back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease offers today.
What's up? This is Kirk Casale, part of the 2011 College World Series team, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball from Learfield. Now back to Andrew Allegretti.
Welcome back as we go top of the 7th inning on just a fantastic day here from the Hoover Met, one of the best spaces in all of college baseball. If you have not been to this tournament, make it a part of your plans at some point in time. The SEC Hoover does just an unbelievable job. This place is so much fun, and of course for Vanderbilt making it to the championship game in 2 of the past 3 seasons. This place has been packed out. It has been a ton of fun versus A&M back in 2023 and Ole Miss back in 2025. Well, Vanderbilt 5-4 as we go top of the 7th.
Leading up for the Wildcats, the catcher number 29, Owen Jenkins.
And time is called by Kentucky before Kranzler throws his first pitch. Well, so far for Kranzler, inning and a third, no runs, 1 strikeout, no walks. He's been one of Vanderbilt's better pitchers down the stretch. Of course, there was fireworks the last time that Kranzler threw versus Kentucky. All that happened was Tyler Bell getting ejected.
Yeah, I would say that would constitute fireworks. And honestly, hurt them and benefited us. So
lost game 3 not just because of it, but in parts. Here's the first pitch to Jenkins. There's a breaking ball that misses low. Corbin Reynolds goes for the challenge. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go, Corbin Reynolds. Vanderbilt has all 3 of its challenges left here in the top of the 7th inning. The freshman with a big challenge on the first pitch of the inning. Yes, sir.
I love it, Andrew. I love the excitement that it brings to the ballpark and even to the benches. Like both teams today during these challenges.
That's a big first pitch. The 0-1. That's swung on, fouls it off. And just like that, because of the challenge, it's 0-2 versus Jenkins. 8-9-1 part of the order here for Kentucky. Vanderbilt 5-4. The 0-2. That's swung on, ground ball toward third. It's played by Brody Johnston. He steps, he fires off to Gooden. Once again, it's always a dart by Brody Johnston. There's your first out.
You're right, Andrew. These calls flip the complexion of these at-bats. You go from 1-0 to 0-1, then quickly it's 0-2, and then all of a sudden, Owen Jenkins, the freshman, is in swing mode, protect mode, and gets a pitch down in the zone. Then he just bounces over to weekly to Brody Johnson at third base. Out number 1.
Here's Caden Cloud, third baseman, first pitch. Fastball for a strike, as Scott Brown says all of the time. And any pitching coach, really anybody in baseball, would tell you that count leverage is everything.
100%.
It's huge. The 0-1 misses off the plate, breaking ball, 1 strike. So it's not just challenging pitches with 2 strikes.
Right.
Or ball 4. It's about challenging pitches that flip the leverage in the count. The 1-1. Nice off-speed pitch for a strike there by Alex Kranzler. Drops that bender in. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Caden Cloud. Huge game for both sides here today. The 1-2. Breaking ball is off the plate. The freshman from Missouri holds off. Again, Kentucky very much feels like they've got to win this one to make the NCAA tournament. Their RPI is good, up in the 30s, but this would be, if Vanderbilt gets the win, their 3rd loss versus Vanderbilt, a team that is on the bubble for sure. There's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Nice pitch by Kranzler, strikes out Cloud. And Kentucky is at a point where I think they've only won 2 SEC weekends all year.
Yeah, and they haven't been trending the right direction down the stretch either. This is just as big of a game for them as it is for us. There's no doubt about that. Of course, they have 1 less conference win in the regular season than us as well.
Here's Jace Tarnish. That's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Kentucky with 13, Vanderbilt with 14. Do you think most pundits feel like Vanderbilt needs to go on a run to make the NCAA tournament? That pitch is swung on, hit towards right center field. Good jump by Rigdon. He closes the gap. He makes the play. 1, 2, 3 for Alex Kranzler. Jenkins, Cloud, and Tarnish. Exactly how many wins Vanderbilt needs to make the NCAA tournament, that's hard to say, but certainly it starts here today versus the Cats. We'll step aside. We go bottom 7, Vanderbilt 5-4. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Looking for your next outdoor adventure? Head to The Lodge in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of the square on Columbia Avenue. Whether you're chasing trophy game or casting into pristine waters, The Lodge is your one-stop shop for premium hunting and fishing gear. With top brands you trust and a knowledgeable staff ready to guide you, you'll be fully equipped for wherever the wild takes you. Visit The Lodge in Franklin and gear up for your next great story. The Lodge, where passion for the outdoors begins.
This is 2021 SEC Freshman of the Year, Enrique Bradfield Jr.
There's the throw down to second. He is safe.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back as we go bottom of the 7th inning. Vanderbilt 5-4 here from the Hoover Met versus the 13 seed Kentucky. This is the opening day of the SEC tournaments. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky. The Doors took 2 out of 3 in Lexington. Looking for 3 out of 4 versus the Cats, just like they did versus the Vols last year.
Yeah.
Thought I'd throw that into the mix.
Why not?
Holcomb to lead things off.
Well, they are our common opponents, right? So you want to beat your common opponents.
First pitch to Holcomb. Off-speed pitch, up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Sams versus Holcomb. Of course, Vanderbilt swept Tennessee this season. Also swept South Carolina. Got a victory on the road versus Texas A&M. 1 at home versus Texas. The 1-0. There's a check swing up and in. Did not go as they check down to Clint Fagan at first base. 1 ball becomes 2.
Of course, for those that don't know, when I say common opponents, when they realigned to the SEC last year, you have 2 teams that you know you will play every year regardless, and that is Kentucky and Tennessee.
The 2-0. Holcomb swings, flares this one toward left field. This is back for Bell. He's not going to get it. It drops in, just plunks over the head of the shortstop, Tyler Bell, and Vanderbilt gets a leadoff base runner, bottom 7.
A peach, Andrew. Braden Holcomb gets jammed on that pitch, but we know how strong he is, and plenty strong to get that out over the head of Tyler Bell, who was in pursuit of that ball. And the Commodores have a leadoff hitter on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. See if we can add some insurance here.
8 hits for Vanderbilt, 7 of them singles, 1 double by Barsey. That brings us to Logan Johnstone. Vanderbilt, the defending champs here at Hoover, versus Kentucky. Right versus left the pitch. Johnstone takes top of the zone. It's a strike, no balls, 1 strike. Vanderbilt has not played Kentucky in the tournament since 2022. Vanderbilt did fall. Chris McElvain had a difficult day, but how about Hobby Vance that went 4 for 4 in that game versus the Cats? Breaking ball for a strike, bottom part of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Holcomb's down at first base. Old friend Spencer Jones went 0 for 2 with an RBI that day. The 0-2. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shift is on for Johnstone. Space left side of the infield. The 1-2. That's up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You talk about the space on the infield, but of course pitchers will throw pitches that make it difficult to hit it there. So oftentimes it's easier said than done to just poke it that way. The 2-2. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Like that's a pitch that's awfully difficult to take to third base for the left-hander.
Sure is. Anything up around your body is hard to hit the other way. I was able to do it a lot when I played just because I was really late all the time, but I got my hands inside the ball, so I'd shoot it the other way all the time.
That's one way to do it. Then they would shift you the opposite way. The 3-2. Fouls it off. Fastball inside. The only infield in the history of baseball to be shifted opposite. You can shift the outfield opposites, but typically speaking, the infield is shifted to pull.
I would have been a candidate for it, that's for sure.
Holcomb's at first base. The 3-2. Struck him out, elevates the fastball. Frustrated Logan Johnstone. Here's Gooden. Vanderbilt 5-4, bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, you don't see that too often from Logan Johnstone, expanding his zone like that. That pitch was up around the shoulders, maybe just below. So you know Logan frustrated with himself. Very disciplined hitter most of the time.
Great day for Tommy Gooden at the plate. 2 for 3.
This kid just hits, Andrew.
First pitch. It's the fastball, bottom part of the zone. No balls, 1 strike. Vanderbilt has always known that Tommy Gooden can hit. Needed to get better defensively, needed to get stronger, which he did from freshman to sophomore season. The 0-1. Gooden swings and fouls it off. Got the fastball outside, right back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Holcomb's at first base.
The thing that I love about T. Goody is he could be 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and he doesn't care walking up there to the plate. He's so laid back and so chill. Maybe that's the SoCal in it.
It is. It's definitely the California cool. The 0-2. Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Talk about next pitch mentality and not carrying your last at bat or something that happens in the field with you to the plate. T. Goody, he does a really nice job with that.
The 1-2. That's swung on, slow grounder toward the left side. Picked up by Cloud, goes to second. That's one. The spin to first, not in time, as T. Goody hustles out the double play. So 2 outs and Gooden's at first base.
Just a little jam shot to the opposite side there. Either the fastball or maybe the cutter got in on the hands of Gooden. Sawed him off. Ball not hit hard enough, even though T. Goody's not the swiftest of runners. Quick enough to get down there and beat the wrap.
Up next for Vanderbilt is Riker Wade, the shortstop, the sophomore out of Queen Creek, Arizona. First pitch. Breaking ball is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 for 3 for Riker. Picked up an RBI base hit back in the 6th inning with 2 outs. Vanderbilt is 5 for 10 with 2 outs here today. 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The 1-0. That's swung on. Slow tapper, first base side, foul. Again, Vanderbilt scored 4 runs back in the bottom of the 6th inning, all of them with 2 outs, 3 of them with a hits, 1 E5. Jack Sams versus Riker Waits. Right versus left. Shift is on for Riker. From the stretch for Sams. The righty throws. Inside. Ooh, got the call. Yeah, Riker's going to challenge. I think that's a good challenge by Riker. Of course, the strike zone is wider. 1 inch on both sides, and it just has to clip that strike zone. We'll see if Riker can flip this. Vanderbilt does have 3 challenges for the moment. It's a ball.
Let's go, Reich.
That's a count leverage flip. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I love it, Andrew.
I'm all for it.
Another layer of excitement to this already exciting game.
It's unintrusive, too.
It is.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. Count goes to 2-2.
I think he got the changeup there, actually, but that thing had a lot of downward movement to it. Almost
Goodness.
Looked like a breaking ball. It pulled the string on Riker and had him out in front.
Again, Gooden's down at first base. Vanderbilt by 1. Bottom 7. Here's the pitch. That swung on, sizzled foul, right field line. Ooh, just past the glove of Brown, the first baseman, and Clint Fagan, the first base umpire.
And past the ball boy down there, Andrew. Got past everybody.
That thing was peppered.
Sure was.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Riker. 1 for 3 today. The 2-2. Up and away. So ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes here for Riker. On deck if we get there, Rustin Rigdon. The shift is still on here with 2 strikes for Riker Waite. Third base is vacant. Gooden takes his lead at first base. The 3-2. That swung on, it's popped up left side. Here comes the left fielder. Marcy battles the wind some. Makes the catch that finishes off the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, Vanderbilt got a base runner, could not do anything with it, but the Doors do take a 5-4 advantage to the top of the 8th inning. JM.
Andrew, we had a successful Rally Radio Day, +2. We got out of here with the lead. Now let's finish this thing off.
Find that lucky spot in the bunker, bring us back a win.
Let's do it.
We'll step aside, come back in just a couple of seconds. We go top 8 here from Hooper. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
If sourcing products and services to your organization feels like you're stuck in extra innings, there's a better way to buy. Omnia Partners helps Vanderbilt University and more than 100,000 other organizations buy the things they need with pre-negotiated contracts from hundreds of nationally trusted suppliers. From office supplies and facilities maintenance to food and IT equipment, our members get better value from suppliers like Amazon, Cintas, Home Depot, and U.S. Foods than they can get on their own. Make every purchase a home run by saving time and money with Omnia Partners. Join for free at omniapartners.com/anchordown.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the Doors together. We're proud to add Commodore Pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When 2 historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the Doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
This is head coach Tim Corbin, and you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. Back to the booth and Andrew Allegretta.
Vandy wins it! Welcome back as we go top of the 8th inning. Here to the Hoover Men. Don't forget that Modelo is brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Plus, the Vanderbilt Student Life Centers where Southern hospitality meets global innovation. Learn more at vanderbilt.edu/conferences. 2-3-4 part of the order for Kentucky. In those Kentucky blue uniforms here today, Vanderbilt goes with white uniforms and black pins. First pitch by Kranzler. That drops in for a strike. Nice breaking ball. No balls, 1 strike. 2 for 3 today for Bell. A big double back in the first inning, plus a solo shot. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses low. Again, Vanderbilt leads 5-4. Alex Kranzler, the first pitcher out of the bullpen. 2 1/3 so far. 2 strikeouts, no walks. The 1-1. That's off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. This is the most difficult batter that Kentucky has to offer. A future potential first-round MLB draft pick. But this was the matchup back in Lexington. That swung on, hit toward the right side, gloved on a quick hop by Mancini. Steps and throws 4-3. It was Kranzler versus Bell that got us the fireworks. The talking back and forth in Game 2 that got Bell ejected. But this time Bell just jogs back to the dugout. 1 down, top of the 8th inning. Vanderbilt 5-4. Four to 3. Here's Luke Lawrence. First pitch, breaking ball, it drops in. No balls, 1 strike. Clear skies here today from the Hoover Met. Temperatures upper 80s. Light breeze out to left field. The 0-1. That's swung on. Fouls it off. Right back. Well, good day for Luke Lawrence as well. 2 for 2. 2 RBIs. A single, scored 1 back in the first. That was Bell. Hit by pitch in the 3rd and picked up a double back in the 5th inning that scored 1. The 0-2. There's a strike outside corner. Struck him out. What a pitch by Alex Kranzler. No challenge from Luke Lawrence. And he gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. Base is empty, 2 down.
Designated hitter number 9, Ethan Hindle.
Again, Vanderbilt and Kentucky, day 1 of the SEC tournament here. Andrew Allegretti here on the booth. Trip heard back inside our network studio. So glad you could join us today. Here's the pitch on its way. Hindle takes fastball for a strike, bottom part of the zone. Vanderbilt scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, all of them with 2 outs. The 0-1. Breaking ball for a strike for Kranzler. Looks like the cutter that time. Nice pitch. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Base is empty. Hindle versus Kranzler. The junior out of New Jersey rocks and deals. There's a breaking ball that spikes in the dirt. Left-handed batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, fans of all sorts of colors out there in the stands at the moment. There's Tennessee orange, LSU purple. Certainly black and gold. That pitch is swung on. It is missed. What a breaking ball for Kranzler. 1, 2, 3 through the 2, 3, 4 part of the order. And back-to-back strikeouts. Alex Kranzler has 4 Ks here today at the Hoover Mets. We go bottom 8s. One more chance for Vanderbilt potentially to add some insurance runs. Vanderbilt 5, Kentucky 4. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes every moment cheering on your team even better. Plus, the mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is Rocky Mountain cold. So you never have to guess if your Coors Light is ready to drink. So crack one open, take a sip, and enjoy the game. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Looking for your next outdoor adventure? Head to the Lodge in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of the square on Columbia Avenue. Whether you're chasing trophy game or casting into pristine waters, the Lodge is your one-stop shop for premium hunting and fishing gear. With top brands you trust and a knowledgeable staff ready to guide you, you'll be fully equipped for wherever the wild takes you. Visit the Lodge in Franklin and gear up for your next great story. The Lodge, where passion for the outdoors begins.
Martin and Zerfoss believes that insurance is the foundation upon which businesses and families build their futures. For over 45 years, our locally owned agency has worked with companies and individuals to build coverage that helps lower their risks. For all personal, commercial, risk management, and group benefits, call Martin and Zerfoss at 615-297-8500 or visit mzinsurance.com. Insuring Vandy fans since 1978.
No matter how you slice it, Nashville's favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com. Welcome back as we go bottom of the 8th inning. Rustin Rigdon's at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Vanderbilt 5-4 versus Kentucky. It's a freshman versus a sophomore. The pitch by Sams. That's swung on. Fouls it off. Left field side out of play. Again, Vanderbilt 5-4 versus Kentucky. Don't forget that Vanderbilt Health is the official healthcare provider of Vanderbilt Athletics. Big comeback here today for Vanderbilt. Trailed 4-1 versus one of the best pitchers in the conference, Jackson Jelkin. Scored 4 runs with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. That pitch is swung on. It's driven right back up middle. It's a base hit for Rustin Rigdon. He stings it to center field. It's another hit here for Vanderbilt. Another single here for the Doors. Up next for Vanderbilt is the DH out of Naperville, Colin Barzy.
The designated hitter, number 44, Colin Barzy.
What a big insurance run down at first base for Vanderbilt. Rustin Rigdon can swipe bags, that's for sure. He's got 13 this season. First pitch, Barzy swings and fouls it off. Off the screen right side, drops right into Vanderbilt's dugout. Under clear skies, Vanderbilt with those white uniforms and black pins here today. Kentucky in their UK blue uniforms with white pants and 1 stripe down the side. Rigdon leans at first base. Here's the pickoff move back to first. He is safe. Good day for Barzy, 2 for 3. Doubled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Singled and picked up an RBI back in the 6th inning. The 0-1. Barzy takes outside corner for a strike. No balls, 1 strike, no challenge for number 44. Vanderbilt has all 3 of its challenges remaining. Kentucky's got 2. The 0-2 pitch. Rigdon goes, it's up and in, there's the throw, and he is, what's the call? Safe for Rustin Rigdon. The 14th stolen base this season. Lawrence tried to get the tag down, but Rigdon slides headfirst under it. No challenge for Kentucky either. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Barzy versus Sams. And the freshman throws. That's swung on, that's hit, tailing foul, right field side. Caught it well and got it to the berm, but just pushed it foul. Again, Barzy is back in the building where he hit his very first career home run versus Tennessee back in 2024. The 1-2. Rigdon goes, it's a breaking ball, there's the throw to third, it's gonna get past the third baseman, Rigdon takes off and he is gonna score! Rigdon swipes third, the throw by the catcher Jenkins misses Cloud, and Vanderbilt tacks on a critical insurance run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Doors by 2, 6-4. You could feel that move by Rigdon the whole time. He shuffled, he took off. Jenkins tried to throw a sidearm toss to Cloud and was just off target. It got to left field. The 2-2 to Barzy. Swing and a miss on a fastball elevated. Barzy strikes out, but Vanderbilt 6-4, bottom of the 8th inning. Up next is Corbin Reynolds. Well, Vanderbilt has scored 6 runs, 2 of them courtesy of errors from Kentucky, 1 E5, 1 E2. First pitch to Reynolds. There's a fastball swung on. He stings that one to right field. That's in for a base hit. That's the 10th hit of the game here for Vanderbilt. One down, base hit by Corbin Reynolds. Up next for Vanderbilt is Brody Johnston. Top of the order today. Hits in this leadoff spot for head coach Tim Corbin. 1 for 3. Here comes Nick Mingione. Looks like that's going to do it for the freshman Jack Sands. Kentucky very much fighting for its NCAA tournament life. Just like Vanderbilt is. 13-17 in conference play is squishy to say the least. They've got a very good RPI up in the 30s. That helps. But out of 10 conference weekends, Kentucky only won 2 of them. Really good sweep versus Alabama. That is huge to their resume.
Good job, Coach. Good job.
But they have not trended in the right direction down the stretch. That does include dropping 2 out of 3 to Vanderbilt, which teams understand that the Doors likely need to make a run to make the NCAA tournament for the 20th consecutive season. So, resume is good but not great for Kentucky, and their postseason hopes certainly hang in the balance here today, just like Vanderbilt's do. We'll step aside. New pitcher for Kentucky back in just a couple of seconds. Vanderbilt 6-4, bottom of the 8th inning. 1 down, runner at first base. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com.
No other place has a story like Nashville, and no one captures the spirit of Music City better than the new Omni Nashville Hotel. This stunning 800-room hotel offers the perfect blend of Southern charm and urban sophistication in the heart of downtown. The hotel's 5 on-site culinary and entertainment venues reflect the authentic flavors of Nashville. Amenities include an on-site business center, spacious fitness facility, and a stunning outdoor pool deck with panoramic views of downtown Nashville. And don't forget Omni's signature Mocara Spa. Get ready, Nashville. This is like nothing you've ever experienced before.
Looking for your next outdoor adventure? Head to the Lodge in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of the square on Columbia Avenue. Whether you're chasing trophy game or casting into pristine waters, the Lodge is your one-stop shop for premium hunting and fishing gear. With top brands you trust and a knowledgeable staff ready to guide you, you'll be fully equipped for wherever the wild takes you. Visit the Lodge in Franklin and gear up for your next great story. The Lodge, where passion for the outdoors begins.
Hey, this is Jonathan Vastine, 2-time SEC champion.
A right field bomb here for Jonathan Vastine in the home run trot.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
New pitcher for Kentucky, 1 down, bottom of the 8th inning is Niall Adcock, a senior from Illinois, faces off against the sophomore out of Ottawa. Reynolds down at first base, 6-4, Vanderbilt by 2, bottom of the 8th inning. Right versus right, first pitch by Adcock. There's a breaking ball, drops in for a strike. This is the pitcher that Will Hampton hit his critical grand slam versus in Game 3 against the Cats in Lexington about a month ago. No balls, 1 strike for Brody. That fastball is swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes for Johnston. 1 for 4 here today. A single back in the 3rd picked up Barzy from second base. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That swung on. That one is hit hard. This is deep to left field. Oh, this one is clobbered, and it is gone! Brody Johnston. Oh, did he just land the haymaker? A 2-run shot, bottom of the 8th inning. The 2025 tournament MVP. Oh, he's back at it. He destroyed it. Hampton got a big swing off versus Adcock, and now Johnston does here in Hoover. 8-4.
Second baseman number 5, Mike Mancini.
It's the 15th home run of the season for Brody Johnston, his 30th of his young career. First pitch, Mancini. Breaking ball inside, it misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Maybe the haymaker in this game for Brody Johnston. Maybe the haymaker for Kentucky's NCAA tournament life. That pitch is swung on. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Oh, just hit it where they ain't. Mike Mancini, a grounder up the middle. It's a single, his first hit of the game. Well, for Brody Johnston, his first home run in conference play since Kentucky. His first home run overall since MTSU back on April 28th. Here's Holcomb. 1 for 4 here today. Pickoff move back to first. Mike Mancini is safe. Mike Mancini looking for his 20th stolen base of the season. We'll see if it's here. Pickoff move back to first. Mancini is safe on the tag by Brown. Well, Vanderbilt has scored 7 unanswered runs. They scored 4 with 2 outs back in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have scored 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning versus Kentucky. Pickoff move back to first base. Mancini is safe. 19 for 20 this season for Mike Mancini. Ties back to first base. Time is called. I think some dirt got in his eye. A former Little League World Series champion out of Endwell, New York. Athletic trainer Chris Matarazzo pops out of the dugout. Has some eye drops, but he gets sent back down. The pitch to Holcomb. Mancini goes. It's a fastball. There's the throw. It is not in time. 20 stolen bases for Mike Mancini. What a season for the kid out of Endwell, New York. He swipes one at Hoover, and Vanderbilt has a runner in scoring position with 1 down. Holcomb's at the plate, bottom of the 8th inning. What a speedster, Mike Mancini. The 1-0. Holcomb takes breaking ball off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like Kentucky is challenged. They've got 2 of those challenges left. Here's the challenge on the ball versus strike. It is a ball off the plates. Might as well if you're Kentucky, pretty critical spots. Count goes to 2-0. Call is confirmed from home plate umpire Jeff Head. A spin back to second base. Mike Mancini is safe. Again, Vanderbilt has scored 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rustin Rigdon stole third. The throw from Jenkins overshot Cloud, the third baseman. He scored Vanderbilt's 6th run. And then Brody Johnston just tattooed his 15th home run of the season at 2-run shots. Pickoff move back to first. Mancini is safe. Again, Vanderbilt trailed 4-1. It was tough sledding versus Jackson Jelkin, one of the best pitchers in the conference, who shut down Vanderbilt over 8 innings back in Lexington. A spin back to second base. It's a pickoff. And it looked like Jelkin was going to do that again, but Vanderbilt finally landed enough punches in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 2-0. Breaking ball misses inside. Here's another challenge here from Kentucky. Microphone from Jeff Head is not working, but Kentucky goes to the helmets. The catcher Jenkins does. And that is a strike, just barely nibbles on the inside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Holcomb. And I do mean nibbles. That's like a cat's whisker. It just nibbles that inside corner. Mancini's down at second base. Adcock versus Holcomb. One down. The pitch goes through. Breaking ball. Count goes to 2-2. Big challenge there for Kentucky. As always, count leverage is so much in baseball. Vanderbilt 8-4. The 2-2. Misses low. Knocked down by the catcher Jenkins as it skips in front of home plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, defense for Kentucky, bottom of the 8th inning. Clouds, the third baseman. Bell's the shortstop. A future potential first-round MLB pick. Lawrence is the second baseman, a transfer from Illinois State. Brown's at first base. Jenkins is the catcher. Marcy's in left. Harnish in center. Hanson in right field. A spin back to second base. Mancini is safe on the tag by Lawrence. Light breeze out to left field at the sizable Hoover Met. 335 down the lines. 405 center field. The 3-2. Up and in. Ball 4 for Holcomb. He goes to first base. Logan Johnstone, with 1 down, has 2 on. Oh for 2 for Johnstone today. Graduate transfer from Washington State has had a great season for Vanderbilt's with those double-digit home runs, 7 doubles. Hitting just a tick under 300. First pitch. Sees a fastball top of the zone as a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Vanderbilt 8-4 single elimination SEC tournament. The 0-1. Johnstone swings and fouls it off. Out of the ballpark. No balls, 2 strikes on Johnstone. Quite the season for Johnstone again. Faced that concussion after the collision with Mike Mancini in Lexington. Missed a handful of games. He's come back. He's done a good job for Vandy. The 0-2. There's a swing and a miss. Johnstone strikes out. On base twice, 2 walks. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Not the swing that Johnstone would want, but Tommy Gooden is up with 2 outs. Where Vanderbilt has been cooking today. 5 for 11 with 2 outs, 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Well, 2 for 4 for Gooden today. The pitch. Swings and misses at a breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes for Gooden. Vanderbilt sophomore out of Thousand Oaks, California, who has a little bit of a similar swing profile as Barry Bonds. Very tight and compact left-handed swing. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes. And swings a shorter bat just like Bonds did. Has to battle here. Runners at first and second. The 0-2 with 2 down from Adcock. He throws. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Bunch of spin there to Tommy Gooden. He strikes out, but we go top 9. And Vanderbilt will try to finish off an 8-4 victory. Advance to play the Gators tomorrow. Back in just a couple of seconds after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Martin and Zerfoss believes that insurance is the foundation upon which businesses and families build their futures. For over 45 years, our locally owned agency has worked with companies and individuals to build coverage that helps lower their risks. For all personal, commercial, risk management, and group benefits, call Martin and Zerfoss at 615-297-8500 or visit mzinsurance.com. Insuring Vandy fans since 1978.
No matter how you slice it, Nashville's favorite pizza is 5 Points Pizza. 5 Points Pizza is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in East and West Nashville with delicious weekday lunch and happy hour specials. Enjoy the lunch special combos of slices, salads, or garlic knots for as little as $11 on weekdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Can't enjoy hot pizza without a cold beer? Stop by between 2 and 6 p.m. on weekdays for any slice and any draft for just $8. To order, visit 5pointspizza.com.
What's up, Commodore Nation? This is 2014 National Champion Dansby Swanson.
It's tied up on a solo homer by Dansby Swanson.
And you're listening to Vanderbilt Baseball.
As always, best of luck to our doors and the pros, from Dancy Sponson to Spencer Jones, becomes the 37th player called up to the bigs under head coach Tim Corbin. J.J. Bleday has been tearing it up with the Cincinnati Reds. And a very quick note, Nashville-related congratulations to all those involved that helped bring the Super Bowl to Nashville. In 2030, that is going to be unreal stuff. Congratulations to all involved that helped get that done. Well, Vanderbilt is trying to get a win done here in the top of the 9th inning. 8-4 versus Kentucky. Advanced to play Florida. First pitch scheduled for 1 p.m. tomorrow. If Vanderbilt can hold on, we'll have coverage on 102.5 The Game in Nashville, always streaming on the Vanderbilt Athletics and Varsity Network apps. First pitch, top 9. Breaking ball from Kranzler drops in. Hudson Brown, Will Marcy, and Carson Hansen, the do-up order for Kentucky, top 9. That breaking ball is swung on, popped up left side of the infield. That's Brody Johnston's baseball down that third base line. Boy, has to battle the wind some, but makes a basket catch by his hip. There's your first out, top 9, Vanderbilt, 8-4. Here's Will Marcy. Left fielder 0 for 3 here today. Right versus right with Kranzler. First pitch, fastball, misses off the plate. Again, Vanderbilt trailed 4-1 here today. The 12 seed versus the 13 seed, but has scored 7 unanswered runs. A pitch, breaking ball, first strike outside corner. 3 2/3 for Kranzler. 4 strikeouts, no walks. The 1-1. Breaking ball, it's a strike outside corner, 0-2 versus Marcy. The defending champs trying to stay here in Hoover for one more day. They'd get the Gators tomorrow. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses low, does not go. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Marcy. Batting .149 this season, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. A senior. That pitch misses off the plate. Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A transfer from NC State at the plate. The 3-2. That's spun on, fly ball, right field line. It's going to curl foul back into the stands. Hammers up against some of those new seats that the Hoover Met has installed this year. This place will start to get packed here tonight, as teams like LSU kick off their tournament run later tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, Corbin Reynolds is going to challenge the call. At the moment, it's ball 4. Might as well, Vanderbilt has 3 challenges to use. But just heady baseball by Corbin Reynolds. This is going to be a ball. Rolled off the plate, so ball 4, but worth the challenge for Corbin. First base runner that Kranzler has faced. 1 down, top of the 9th inning. Well, for Vanderbilt, a double play could win the game. First pitch. Hansen takes, breaking ball, top of the zone. Vanderbilt has 48 double plays this season, one of them here today. The 0-1 off the plate. Breaking ball got away, slipped out of the hands of Kranzler. Up to 42 pitches for Vanderbilt's junior from New Jersey. Runner down at first base is Marcy. At the plate is Hansen, 2 for 3 today. That swung on, this is popped up. That's going to push foul toward the berm left field line. Of course, it was a bumpy start this season for Kranzler, but he has become one of the better arms out of the bullpen down the stretch for Vanderbilt. And certainly as evidenced by being the first guy out of the bullpen here at the SEC tournament. Right versus left, open stance for Hansen, a senior out of Wisconsin. Here's the pitch, on its way. Swung on, foul tipped it right toward Vanderbilt's dugout. Played by Casaliba. One of Vanderbilt's freshman pitchers leans over the railing, picks it up. First round SEC tournament here today, single elimination. The 1-2. Inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So far, Missouri knocked off Ole Miss in the 9-16 matchup. Quite the upset for the Tigers. This is game 2. The 2-2. A check swing. Did he go? Did not. Breaking ball inside. On deck is Tennessee versus South Carolina. Then Oklahoma versus LSU later tonight. Much later tonight. From the stretch for Kranzler. Runner down at first base. Here's the pitch. That's swung on. It's a tapper right back to Kranzler. He will flip to first base. He gets the second out. Marcy goes to second base, but 2 down, top of the 9th inning. And Vanderbilt is 1 pitch away from advancing to round 2. Again, my name is Andrew Allegretta for John Michael Morris for Trip Hurd. As always, thank you for making us a part of your Vanderbilt game days. Let's see if Kranzler can finish this one off with Jenkins at the plate. 1 for 3. First pitch. Breaking ball. It's in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Vanderbilt 8-4, top of the 9th inning. Right versus right. The 0-1. Fastball darts inside. 94 for Kranzler. He can put some heat on that fastball if he needs to. He comes set at the belt. The 1-1. Breaking ball is swung on. This one is hit towards right center field. Ooh, that's down for a base hit. Picked up by Rigdon. Steps and fires. It's the first hit and the first run versus Kranzler, 8-5. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Jenkins picks up a single. It scores Marcy from second base. Here's Cloud. 9th spot in the order for head coach Nick Mingione.
Third baseman, number 1, Caden Cloud.
0 for 2 here today. Well, Kentucky trying to do to Vanderbilt what Vanderbilt did to Kentucky back in the 6th inning. First pitch. Fastball for a strike. It was a ton of 2-out damage for Vanderbilt. 4 runs with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. But Kranzler needs 1 good pitch to finish this game off. Runner down at first base is Jenkins. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here for Vanderbilt. Top 9, 8-5. Junior versus the freshman. Right versus right here at the Hoover Mets. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses outside. Defensive indifference as Jenkins goes to second base. No chase from Cloud on that pitch. The 1-2 from Kranzler. That's swung on, fouls it off. Just got a piece of the off-speed pitch. Defense is the same for Vanderbilt. Infield is Johnston, Holcomb, Mancini, and Gooden. Your catcher is Corbin Reynolds, Holcomb, Rigdon, Johnstone in the outfield. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top 9. Kranzler fires. Swing and a miss. He got him. The 5th strikeout for Kranzler. Caps off the win for Vandy. 8-5, the defending champs. They will hang in Hoover to face the Gators in round 2. Vanderbilt erases a 3-run deficit, scores 7 consecutive runs, capped off by a punishing 415-foot blast by Brody Johnston in the bottom of the 8th inning. Vanderbilt 8-5. They will face off against the number 5 Florida Gators tomorrow at 1 p.m. The NCAA tournament stays alive for Vanderbilt for 1 more day. For Kentucky, they will have a tenuous wait to the selection show. Back in just a couple of seconds with the Vandy Boys post-game show after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from their field.
Only a select few can call themselves Vandy Boys, a proud moniker that's earned through hard work, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. It means that you're a Commodore for life, ever ready to anchor down. This Vanderbilt tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, proud sponsor of the Commodores at your Tennessee Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
At First Bank, we've always been Vandy fans, and as the official bank of Vanderbilt Athletics, we're also teammates helping cheer on the doors together. We're proud to add Commodore pride to your wallet with our official Vanderbilt debit cards. Anchor down when you pay with Vanderbilt debit cards from First Bank. When two historic Tennessee teams join together, you get even more ways to bank on the doors. Bank local, get more. First Bank, member FDIC.
Another Vandy baseball game is in the books. It's time to break it down on the postgame show. Today's broadcast has
advances to day 2 of the SEC tournament here at Hoover, 8-5. Vanderbilt takes down Kentucky. NCAA tournament hopes for the Cats certainly in question for Vanderbilt's. They've got some work to do, but that was a good start here today for Vandy. It's time for your Built for Tough players. We're going to go multiple here today. Of the game brought to you by your Mid-South Ford dealers, Brody Johnston and Alex Kranzler were exceptional for Vanderbilt. 2 for 4 for Brody Johnston. The punishing 415-foot home run to give Vanderbilt an 8-4 lead. In the bottom of the 8th inning, his 15th of the season, goes 2 for 4 here today. 3 RBIs plus that base hits. Back in the bottom of the 3rd inning, that scored Barzy from second base with 2 outs. And Kranzler, 4 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. He was sensational out of the bullpen. 55 pitches and 39 of them for strikes. Also for Vanderbilt, Mike Mancini, 1 for 4 here today. Holcomb, 1 for 4, his 79th hit of the season. 0 for 3 for Johnstone, but walked twice. 2 for 5 for Gooden, 1 for 4 for Riker. 2 for 4 for Rigdon, picked up an RBI. Barzy, 2 for 4 RBI and a double here today. And Reynolds goes 1 for 3 with a run scored for Vanderbilt. That will do it for us here from Hoover, but Trip Hurd takes you the rest of the way on the Vandy Boys postgame show. He'll get you the play of the game, some scores across the country, and look ahead to Vanderbilt's and Florida. It's a 1 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. Certainly hope you can join us. 1 p.m. scheduled first pitch. Of course, that is dependent on the first game, which will feature, I believe, Mississippi State versus Missouri. Regardless, Vanderbilt will follow the first game tomorrow versus the Florida Gators, who they did not play here this season. That's always a good matchup. Of course, Vanderbilt took down Jack Caglione back in 2023 to advance to the championship game. So Vanderbilt versus Florida tomorrow. After the first game coverage on 102.5 The Game and the Vanderbilt Athletics app and Varsity Network apps. But once again, my name is Andrew Allegretti. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Vanderbilt game day here today. 8-5. The Doors advance in Hoover to face off against the Gators. Trip Hurd is with you next. Back after this on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Commodore fans, the Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt is your headquarters for week-long entertainment. Stop by the Commodore Grill and enjoy live music from some of Nashville's best songwriters from 6 to 10 p.m., 7 nights a week. Grab a cup of Bongo Java from our coffee bar Brew to start your morning. Brew is in the main lobby. The Holiday Inn West End Vanderbilt, just walking distance from the stadium. The game starts here.
If sourcing products and services to your organization feels like you're stuck in extra innings, there's a better way to buy. Omnia Partners helps Vanderbilt University and more than 100,000 other organizations buy the things they need with pre-negotiated contracts from hundreds of nationally trusted suppliers. From office supplies and facilities maintenance to food and IT equipment, our members get better value from suppliers like Amazon, Cintas, Home Depot, and U.S. Foods than they can get on their own. Make every purchase a home run by saving time and money with Omnia Partners. Join for free at omniapartners.com/anchordown.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Vanderbilt University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Vanderbilt University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Vanderbilt University.
It's got some carry. This one is back, and it is gone. Swing and a miss. Got him.
It's time for today's play of the game. Brought to you by Holiday Inn Vanderbilt. The game starts here.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That swung on. That one is hit hard. This is deep to left field. Oh, this one is clobbered, and it is gone. Brody Brody Johnston. Oh, did he just land the haymaker? A 2-run shot, bottom of the 8th inning. The 2025 tournament MVP. Oh, he's back at it. He destroyed it.
Trippert with you back inside the Learfield Network studios. What a shot that was by Brody Johnston, giving the Commodores a couple of insurance runs there in the bottom of the 8th. Really nice game between Vanderbilt and Kentucky in the opener here, and Vanderbilt going through a little adversity mid-game. Bottom of the 6th,